The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Welcome to the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in at Pat's desk on this feel-good Friday, May 2nd. Happy birthday, Pat McAfee. Sports! It's a heck of a day, boys. Pat, where are you? What are you doing? How's it going? Happy birthday, buddy.
It is a glorious day indeed. May 2nd, 1987, I popped out of Sally McAfee's womb, and ever since then, I've been trying to be an additive to society. I haven't always hit the mark, but I woke up this morning another year older, another age change, and you really look in the mirror and start judging yourself, and you say, what the hell are you doing with your life? Well, I happen to be living the dumbest life of all time. I'm so incredibly thankful and grateful for everything that I get to do with the people that I get to do it with, and today, I'm live from Times Square, okay? I am sitting on a stage that has been built probably within the last couple hours, live in the middle of Times Square. There's a boxing event happening here tonight, brought to you by the Ring magazine, Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, a once-in-a-lifetime event, headlined by Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia. Times Square is alive. Okay, I'm going to let you know that. Times Square is certainly alive. I can't see anything, really. I can hear you guys perfectly. The setup has certainly been a lot. I think there's a lot of, different signals and a lot of different things happening, a lot of different companies working. Ooh. There's 75 years of experience in the truck in the back. We asked for a talkback machine. You thought they would have thought we were trying to cure all of cancer. So This has been a great start. I am thankful and lucky to be here. And no matter what, tonight is going to be electrifying. What's going to happen in this ring behind us? I mean, there's drummers already warming up. We got a chance to do the kickoff show. It's going to be awesome. And this is one of those things where it starts happening. And I think we can cut away from that particular shot. You can probably come back to me, Marty.
It is.
I can't talk to Marty either.
Sure.
So that is something that is, I'm literally on an island out here. So shows up on the TV. Thank you, buddy. Hey.
Boom.
Thank you, sir.
That's 75 years.
That's right.
That way, Marty.
75 years of experience. We're able to do this. This is incredible. That was not Marty. No, Marty was the one who had been pounding the drum. This has certainly been something. But if you look behind here, they set up a ring in the middle of Times Square. Like, I think the middle of Times Square is actually over there, but it is certainly in Times Square. And the people that are just walking by are staring at me like I'm a zoo animal. Some people obviously have sent some love, which I appreciate. And, yeah, we're going to have a great day here. We're going to have a great time. And me and Booker T are going to kick off this entire event. And I think the DAZN people are really pumped up from what I've learned that we are doing that. Yeah, so it's great. It's an honor to be here. And sports are an incredible thing, AJ Hawk. I wish I was with you guys back at the Thunderdome, especially on, a May 2nd holiday. But being asked to be a part of this, and the WWE folks are a part of this, and TKO is a part of this, I don't know how you pass up an opportunity to do a show live from Times Square. And then this morning I thought to myself, should have passed up the opportunity to do a show at Times Square. So I am pumped to be here. Got a chance to walk around. Everybody's been less than hospitable, I would say is certainly the word. But fuck them all. And let's have a great night. And I'm very, very, very appreciative of, just getting asked to do these types of things. Like, I'm a doofus from Pittsburgh. And this is like, this morning I got emotional, man. And birthdays, I don't know if they're supposed to be or not. But I did. I got like pretty emotional this morning when I woke up in this hotel that had no hot water. Okay,
oh,
cool.
jeez.
Nice.
Yeah, no hot water. Yeah, cold shower this morning. Up by design. No, actually, one hotel. I think it's supposed to be a nice place. And the program is gone from the feed. So we, and it's back, and we're back. Okay, so the So a nice cold shower woke me up, a nice cold shower. Then you just stare at the mirror as a 38-year-old for the first time. And, it's just like, I'm not supposed to be doing any of this. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be a success story. I think a lot of people know that. I think if you look at the people that grew up on my street around me, like, I think one day that story is going to be told. We're talking like actual murders and stuff. Like, so I'm very grateful to be alive, very thankful to be doing all this. And the fact that we're doing a show live from Times Square felt like something I had to do. I was told that our whole show was going to be able to be here. Let me tell you what, boys, that would have been an impossible task.
Okay.
That would have been an impossible. I couldn't even imagine trying to get a couple more microphones up here and trying to set it up. 75 years of experience, obviously a lot going on. But yeah, it is a dream come true to be able to live this life alongside you guys. And now that I have my daughter, I think everything kind of hits a little bit more. AJ, thank you for traveling out to Indianapolis before you head down to the Kentucky Derby. Obviously, horses racing this weekend are going to be a big talking point. The NHL's on fire. The NBA's on fire. I was driving around the city last night. Jalen Brunson, big body, hits a game winner. This place was electrifying. Everybody hit the streets. Everybody hit the streets last night. And a lot of people that are sports fans know me now out here. So everybody and their mom was talking shit to me about not being friendly or talking about the Knicks enough in the entirety of our sports coverage. You got to talk about them Knicks tomorrow. Got to talk about them Knicks tomorrow. This city was alive last night with this filthy clutch player of the year shot to win the series over the Detroit Pistons. And it's like, now I think they got the Celtics or whatever, so good luck there. And then if they get through that, they got the Pacers coming out of the Cavs-Pacers matchup. But sports are awesome. Everything's electrifying, and today is certainly going to be a day we're going to talk about. Now, how's it going to go? Who knows? But today's going to be a day we're going to talk about, AJ.
Yeah, it is. And I would imagine everyone, especially I know Bruce Brown is there with you in his hometown kind of. Jalen Brunson, I was watching this game. The back and forth was unbelievable in how it all played out. Playoff basketball has been pretty awesome. And I have not consumed a ton of regular season basketball, Pat. I don't know how much you have watched, but Jalen Brunson, how much work he has to do to just get open and he scored 40, right?
Yeah,
he had 40 last night, and they are absolutely hounding him defensively all night long. Like, I'm so impressed the more I watch playoff basketball. I'm pumped they got to the next round. I'm sure Bruce Brown's been in your ear ever since this game ended, huh, Pat?
It wasn't just Bruce. I'm telling you, there was thousands of yuppies over here in the city that are very jacked up because, like the streets, everybody was watching them in bars, I think. And, this place is the city that never sleeps. It was very much alive. And I don't know what happened in New York during COVID. I think everybody kind of moved out of here. Obviously, every city was kind of done during COVID. And there was maybe some calls that New York was going to never be New York again. This place is buzzing, especially after last night. I mean, you're talking about just like full on everywhere. So it was an honor to be here. They weren't the only great NBA game last night. Ain't that right, boys? There was, this Clippers Nuggets series is getting great as well over there, boys.
Yeah, thank God, too, because it's the only Game 7 right now for the NBA in the first round.
Yeah, Clippers forced a Game 7, and it was a trio of Clippers that really dominated the game for them. Kawhi had 27, Harden had 28, Norman Powell had 24. Now, Game 7 will be on Saturday. It's the first Game 7 of the NBA playoffs that we're going to have this year. And really, this has been a back-and-forth series. We talked about it yesterday, how the Clippers down 3-2 in the series. We're favored, 6.5-point favorites at home, but we're still, dogs to win the series. Nuggets are favorite to win the series because they do have that Game 7 at home. But now Jokic has a chance to answer back at home with no coach. He is the Jackie Moon player coach of this team. So the first Game 7, getting a Game 7 on Saturday is going to be awesome.
Yeah, Game 7 is what we're looking for. Game 7 is also what the NBA is looking for. I also appreciate the fact that Joker, he gave a coach's GM's press conference yesterday after that game.
Yeah.
We never hear Joker talking to pass. Last night, him talking, just sitting down, answering questions as if he was Joker's the coach of that team. And I appreciate that. I like that this is what Joker's become at this stage of his career, but also Kawhi and James Harden showing up in the biggest spots and the Clippers being favored, for the game on Saturday.
Yes.
Didn't the odds?
Yep.
So the odds just completely flipped, Tone? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, how?
That's the weirdest. We talked about it yesterday, where the Clippers, were the 6.5 point favorites, and we're like, okay, that's because they're at home, and Nuggets were still favorites to win the series. We figured because they'd be favorites at home in Game 7, but no, the Clippers being short favorites, very very interesting situation because you could have got them at plus 300 yesterday to win the series. Sometimes the sports books do weird things, but maybe it's a momentum thing coming off the Game 6 win. Who knows, to be honest.
And the NHL obviously shows up. We have Matthew Tkachuk joining us here in a matter of moments. Connor, the NHL playoffs are always something to talk about. There were some New Yorkers that were kind of bummed out that the Rangers aren't really a part of the conversation at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, they said this city's better whenever the Rangers and the Knicks are going. Rangers are dead, but the NHL playoffs are still a-buzzing, brother.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the Rangers, they did bring in actually Mike Sullivan, so they are kind of in the conversation. A lot of people assume
You're welcome.
He'll be the highest paid coach in that team's history, possibly in NHL history. But yeah, Mike Sullivan did get hired as the Rangers coach. But let's not talk about teams that absolutely stink like the New York Rangers. You just mentioned Matthew Tkachuk joined the program. Unfortunately, his brother Brady probably not joining the program because they got eliminated last night by Biz's Toronto Maple Leafs. Hell of a game. Toronto, they were up 3-0. This was Game 6. Ottawa was kind of going on a little bit of a run. People in Toronto probably getting worried. Matthews got the goal scoring going. They went up early. Bill Nylander there. He had the second goal and he had the empty net goal. Crazy story with him. He almost missed the game. They had their kind of lineup card, and William Nylander, who's one of their best players, I believe he was assistant captain on Sweden's Four Nation team. He's unbelievable. He almost completely missed the game because he wasn't on their lineup card. Someone caught it before turning it in. If he wasn't on that card when it got turned in, he wouldn't have been able to play. That would be an all-time Toronto in the playoffs, completely melting, something that would probably have happened in the last few years, but maybe this is the Toronto Maple Leafs year because of that. They win Game 6. They now go on to play the Florida Panthers in round 2. That's a huge matchup, going to be unbelievable. That's one side of that bracket. I believe the other side of the East will be Capitals Canes. Yeah, there it is. So we have kind of the Atlantic set. Then in the Pacific, the Oilers Kings down there. Oilers start down 2-0. Kings get out to a hot start in the series, and then the Oilers rip off 4 straight. This game was nuts. I think there were 5 goals in the first 6 minutes. It was insanity from start to finish, but the Oilers get it done. They come all the way back. They win 4 straight. They move on to play Ty Schmidt's Golden Knights because the Golden Knights, they did get the job done for Ty last night.
Yeah, they did, Pat. You mentioned it a couple nights ago when, Stoner had that absolute clap bomb from the blue line. They kind of just needed some time to get activated. Stoner with a nice little pass there. Jackie Aces, he scored his first goal of the series last night. Him and Stoner both were pointless through 4 games in the series, and due to an injury, they've been playing on the same line. So they had a back-and-forth affair with Minnesota last night. Stoner gets the tip in at the very end. Vegas wins that series 4-2. And I'll tell you what, the Minnesota Wild, even though a lot of stats are coming out, they've made it to the playoffs 10 years in a row or 9 years in a row and haven't been able to get out of the first round. That was an excellent matchup and, going to set up for quite the tilt with Vegas and Edmonton, which is going to be a great series as well.
Yeah, while Bill Guerin gets the Minnesota Wild going. But, Pat, I assume you heard a lot of come on, man, last night because the Stars Avalanche game, the only team to force a Game 7, the Avalanche, they end up beating the Dallas Stars, Gumpy's squad, pretty handily. Granted, it was, there was one of the bounces. There were a few, I don't want to say soft goals, but yeah, you just see Cale Makar whiff on a one-timer, and then it just end up on a stick right in front of the net for the Avalanche. They end up beating the Stars 7-4. That Game 7 is Saturday night. The NBA's Game 7 is Saturday night. And then, Pat, the only other thing when it comes to these hockey playoffs we have to mention is we are in injury release time because in the NHL they don't actually say what is hurt. They just kind of wait till they're out of the playoffs. This tweet got posted or sent sent in today. Victor Hedman, one of the best players in the NHL. I believe he's got an assistant there, but I believe he is the captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning now. He played the first series with a broken leg, which is insane. And then Olivier, and I'm not even going to say his last name because I'd screw it up. Bjorkstrand is coming in through my ear. Thank you, Nick. He was injured April 11th. He woke up with swelling and had signs of bleeding, was rushed to the ER at 2 a.m. He had surgery and is expected to make a full recovery. These guys are playing hockey, folks. Okay, so when they say playoff hockey is different, they mean it. A lot of these teams are going to have stuff like this. I assume the Senators are going to come out and say Brady Tkachuk was playing with 18 broken ribs, even though the human body doesn't even have that many. But, yeah, the NHL playoffs are rolling, Pat, and we got a game tonight, Jets versus Blues, trying to force another Game 7. That's the only hockey game tonight, and then we have our other Game 7 on Saturday. But Game 6 tonight in St. Louis, Pat.
Okay, can't wait to watch that. How many ribs does Marilyn Manson have, AJ?
I think one less than whatever he was born with, Pat, from what I hear.
Speaking about ribs, that broken leg there is insane because that truly is like the hockey culture. Mm-hmm. They'll just say he has a lower body, and then they'll expect him to play. And then as soon as the season's over, it's like, no excuses, no excuses, no excuses. One of our guys, our assistant captain, actually had a broken leg. We had to lift his ass up and push him on the ice for him to play. That's why the hockey culture is so damn beautiful. And the NBA is getting physical too. I appreciate the way that Detroit Pistons team played. I appreciate the way the New York Knicks had to battle through. I appreciate the way we got Kawhi and Harden balling, Joker's playing, and the Pacers, one of their most physical specimens. I guess we ain't going to see him for the rest of the playoffs.
What?
I don't know if you heard.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. John Halliburton, Tyrese's father. He will not be attending any of the games from this point forward for the rest of the season, home or away. Kind of bummed out about that, but I guess, anytime you get into a fight with an active player, there's going to be some blowback. There's going to be some fallout for that entire thing. So I didn't know if we're going to potentially put a hat on him, maybe sneak him into a suite or something like that.
Good.
We spoke to Tyrese. He said, nope, that is not. We are trying to move forward. Now, I will say John Halliburton, Tyrese's dad, is a big personality. He has a lot of moxie. He is beloved in Indianapolis, which is why I brought up the other day why he was able to get on the court. People are wondering, how'd that guy get on the court? Well, that's because he sits there every game and, he knows, that's kind of – he's a guy here. The sign guy with the flamingo who does the counting thing to Giannis, everybody kind of sees him. I kind of hate that guy, but I think he does a really good job for the Pacers in distracting. John Halliburton, he's one of the mainstays too, ever since Tyrese has become an Indiana Pacer. So he's got a lot of moxie. He did a bunch of interviews after they expected him not to speak to the media after his apology out there. He has been banned seemingly for the rest of the playoffs. And we'll just let John know that, hey, if you want to come watch the games at the Thunderdome, open house for you, and I assume they won't have a camera on him watching these games, but something to think about. And if they go on a run here, which the Pacers certainly can, I hope there is a conversation later in the finals, hey, maybe if they do make the finals and there's a chance to win an entire championship with how supportive of a father he has been, which I think is a big deal in modern society. I think we do a lot of talking about that. Yep. Hopefully there's a chance to kind of bygones be bygones and we move forward. But I think everybody in that situation is happy that we're moving forward from this, AJ. I think everybody's kind of happy that we have a resolution and we're moving forward.
And it feels like he's not, it's not an official ban, right? It feels like they kind of talked and they kind of had a mutual agreement. Okay, yeah, well, let me let this thing kind of die down a little bit, okay? You don't have to put it in writing that I'm not allowed to come back, right?
Yeah, I feel like that might have happened. I feel like also Mr. Halliburton might have been told, they stay the hell away, just because I don't know how mutual it can get. It's the playoffs. Pat mentioned it. This guy goes to every game. We mentioned how long the NBA season is. His kid is Tyrese is.
You see the game winner his kid just hit though. Yeah, you see the game. It's an emotional game. I get it.
No, that's what I mean though. Now he doesn't get to be there for those moments.
Let him go in a box though. Say you can come to the game, but you got to sit up top. You can't go anywhere near the court. Couldn't he try? Maybe we could negotiate that at least if they get to the finals.
He didn't
possibly
see Giannis there either, right?
I don't know.
He's looking right through.
He looked right through.
He said his quote in the media was, "It might look like I was looking at Giannis, but I was looking right through him, brother."
Exactly.
It was me and the Pacers fans just kind of enjoying the moment together. And he said, "Don't you disrespect me." I wasn't disrespect. I was just taking in the moment with a blanket towel that I had of my son, who just cooked that man and took it to the rack. But yeah, it is obviously a disappointing situation for the Halliburton family. I think they're probably all just like, let's move on, let's move on, let's move on. But for the Pacers as a whole, this doesn't slow down the fact that they are ballers. This Pacers team is very good. So are the Cavaliers. So are the Celtics. And obviously, so are the New York Knicks. And then on the West Coast, it's like the NBA playoffs are shaping up to be great. Let's talk a little bit of some NFL news, shall we? Aiden Hutchinson had that nasty leg injury. Nasty. Kind of changed how the season was going for the Lions, but then also became like a regular thing for the Lions. Like, oh, star defensive players are going to get hurt. Star defense players are going to get hurt. He was on the way to potentially win a defensive player of the year. That's how good Aiden Hutchinson was playing before he gets injured. He's looking good, AJ. Rehab videos are getting posted. He's at an indoor soccer facility, working a little basher board. I assume he's kicking the ball off that board, kind of shaking some people. He's running, he's sprinting. He's not at a full gallop yet, but the one-legged jumps there on the bad knee, I think are a big deal. And AJ, we chit-chat about it. These rehab processes suck. I mean, this is all miserable. It's all incredibly hard work. Happy to see one of the game's greats getting back.
Yeah, you hit it right there. You heard me making noise when I saw him. He does that one-legged hop. Man, that thinking of one-legged hopping on a bad knee coming off of surgery, that thing is so painful to do. So I'm glad to see he's recovering like that. The guy's unbelievable. The guy's off the charts in what he can do. He is Detroit right now. So yeah, happy for him. Happy for his recovery.
Foxy, you getting all jacked up watching the Great White Hope up there from Michigan?
Yeah, 100%.
Kind of get back to it?
100%. He's the heart and soul of the team. We need him to be at 100%. The defense is not the same without him, and I expect him this offseason to get about $40 million per year. Wow. So that leg better be looking good because he's going to get a lot of money, and his expectations are going to be very, very high.
That's an interesting thing, AJ, if you think about paying a guy coming off such a serious injury. You're like banking on the recovery and the rehab. You're watching it like hoping like, hey, he's going to get back to form. We assume he will, especially with how much commitment he has to his body. As we've seen before, he's a guy that carries around the
jug of
water.
Yeah, jug of water. He's not messing around. We know that.
Yeah, he's always locked in. So I think he's going to get back to full strength. Kelvin Shepard, new DC for the Detroit Lions, obviously going to send it. Life is good whenever you have a guy that can get to the quarterback anytime he wants. Looks like Aiden Hutchinson is on his way back there. Are the Florida Panthers on their way back to a Stanley Cup? Are the Florida Panthers the team that is going to be the new dynasty in the NHL? Do the Florida Panthers have the most American lad playing for them? Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Stanley Cup champion, friend of the program, Florida Panther legend, Matthew Tkachuk.
Yay!
How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on again.
Hey, thank you for joining us. Congrats on all the success. You know, that rivalry with Tampa is certainly becoming bug windshield in one particular direction, and I appreciate you pointing that out to them and to the media. I would like to let you know that I believe you got me into an international incident. Do you know that?
I am not aware, no.
So, you know, Four Nations up in Canada, they boo the shit out of us. The Tkachuk boys say, I don't think so. Okay, set the tone. We go ahead and beat the hell out of these Canadians. Okay, 9 seconds in, we have this fight. I think that set the tone for all of America. Okay, I think you set the tone for the entirety of the continental United States of America, and I assume Hawaii as well. So then a couple weeks later, I head up to Canada for Elimination Chamber, and they boo the national anthem. I'll tell you what, I wasn't able to fight the fans. I wasn't able to do that, but I certainly said something, and whammy! Justin Trudeau on one side, Donald Trump on the other, and old Pat McAfee right there in the middle of it. So I want to let you know, thank you for representing for our country and motivating me to represent for our country. That meant a lot at the time. You need to know that, Tkachuk.
Oh, well, I mean, I appreciate it. I think that, you know, looking back at that experience, it's just how prideful you are to wear that jersey. It's been such a long time coming. And going into a hostile environment in that the Bell Center in Montreal, great ring, great atmosphere, but it's kind of like us against the world. And you know, the guys that you know fought early really wanted to just set the tone and make the rest of the team realize that it's us against everybody right now, and this is how we're going to stick together, and we believe in each other, and this is how we're going to do it. So I'm proud of the guys. I was proud of the whole team, and it was a great tournament and great for hockey, really.
I think so too. And when you say us versus everybody, U.S. Versus everybody, brother, is how we all felt about it. And you hurt your groin, obviously, there. Was it hurt going into that and you played through? Did you get hurt then? And there was real worry and concern by us hockey fans that you weren't going to return this year as a whole. What were the expectations coming out of that with the groin? And obviously, you're back on the ice, which is great news for the Florida Panthers. But how was that journey with the groin?
Nothing before that. Just got hurt, freak accident, freak little play in the tournament. I'm actually later in that Canada game, and actually didn't really know if I was going to be able to come back this year or not. Attacked the rehab like so hard, and then had so many highs and lows, some good days, some bad days. Some days were brutal, but had a great support staff at the rink, with the doctors and trainers and everybody got me through, and positivity and days where I didn't know if it was going to be good or not. So started feeling better just a few weeks ago, getting ready for playoffs, and was happy that our series actually started a little bit later, so it gave me a few extra days of wiggle room to get back, and was able to come back from game one, and I'm feeling great right now, and hopefully we're off and running.
Yeah, do you have some fresh legs? I mean, obviously rehab is a lot. In a groin, I don't think there would be anything. I mean, we just found out old buddy had a broken leg that was playing for Tampa. You hockey players are absolutely absurd. So a broken leg sucks. I assume there's some broken backs and ribs. Groin, though, that's every movement, right? I mean, that is every movement in hockey, especially whenever you're on skates. When did you know you were going to be able to get back? Was it like weeks before playoffs, or was it like kind of last second saying, you know what, I think we're at a point where I can go again?
No, it was honestly last second, and just when you're able to do stuff that's more pain-free, I guess. So now I'm pain-free, especially like it's one of those as the playoffs, have gone on, was maybe feeling it just a tiny bit of just not soreness, but more just like kind of sluggish, and haven't really skated a whole lot till before right before playoffs. So as the series went on, I felt so much better, and as probably starting from game 3 on, I felt back to normal. So I'm happy with where I'm at right now, and I'm happy to have get past that first round.
Last question for me, because I can barely hear the boys back in the studio, and I can't communicate with the boys in the studio, so I'm kind of on an island here in Times Square. Yep. It's good time. It's good time. Big boxing fight happening here tonight on DAZN. Who knows if their app can handle you downloading it or not? I assume that people have it figured out at DAZN. They've been great to work with. So whenever you see Biz get as excited as he is excited for this Maple Leafs team, and he's yelling at his phone, obviously sending it to the world, and we're sending messages to him. I think everybody in the hockey world sent a message to him about the Maple Leafs. Do the boys rally around that in the Panthers? Like, is Marchand, are we watching this video before every Maple Leafs game? Are we trying to, kind of stuff Biz in his mouth, maybe into a bin? Or what are your thoughts on the Maple Leafs and the pressure that they have being the team from Toronto that seemingly can never get the job done? Do you guys worry about that shit at all?
No, I mean it's round 2. We've been in way more high pressure series in games than this, and hopefully we will be. Down the road. That's the goal, right? So, I think that us trying to relish that underdog role going into Toronto. I mean, they're the number 1 seed. They had the best season in our division. We have our hands full with them. They've got some of the best offensive players, and I think there's more to worry about on ice than stuff wearing off the ice. So we're going to let that stuff handle itself. But all we can control is that stuff on ice, and we'll let the fans do whatever they want outside of the ice.
Matthew, do you?
Yeah, Biz is going to be problematic. Biz is going to be loud. We know that. We know Biz is going to be loud. I mean, if anything, he's going to be very excited. That mustache looks good too right now, man. He's got a good stash going.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was an Oilers fan last year, but it's hard to keep track sometimes. So, we just worry about our stuff on ice and let everything else, just follow.
Go ahead, AJ.
Now,
sorry, buddy.
Will you talk to your brother at all about this Maple Leaf squad and what the roster may do? I know you guys you know each other pretty well. Everyone in the league, it seems like. And second part of that question: are you wearing a Sunday Red shirt from Tiger Woods? Because I don't know if I've ever seen anybody in the wild with one of those on.
I actually am. Yeah, they're nice enough to have sent me a bunch of stuff over the last few months. It's great. The stuff is great. It's great to golf and it's great to just chill out. And so I appreciate.
How much
that.
was that?
But,
was that $90 there? That T-shirt was that a $100? What was that? Was like the old school Affliction shirts. I remember their website going on.
Yeah, I didn't pay for it. They just sent it to me, so I've got no clue. But it's comfy. It's comfy though. I like it a lot. But yeah, going back, AJ. It's pretty soon. You know, with them just playing last night. I just talked to him by text, but you know, we don't know when our first game is, but definitely before that, I'll give him a call and ask him, you know, what he saw throughout the series, little things, and then honestly, I'll ask a lot about individuals, like what you can exploit with some guys, what guys maybe get a little too riled up, what guys you can get off their game, what guys are looking like they're playing through stuff or look a little injured. It's all the little stuff that I'll ask him, and you know, it's playoffs. You know, every advantage you can get, and it's nice. It's nice having, you know, my brother that just played them, so he'll give me the honest truth.
Go ahead, Boss Connor.
Yeah, Tkachuk, obviously, Pat mentioned, you know, Biz talking about Brad Marchand. And if Biz didn't beat the piss out of 10 Irish Gypsies, then he probably wouldn't be running his mouth like this, but he did. Brad coming over from Boston, I'm a huge Bruins fan. You stole him. It's tough. But as a Bruins fan, I am pulling for you guys because you got my captain, oh captain. How has it been having Brad Marchand?
Hold on. I'm getting a FaceTime right now from Biz.
Here we go.
Oh, yes.
Hey, we're talking about you a little bit here. I just complimented your mustache, and Tkachuk said he thought you were an Oilers fan last year. Now all of a sudden we're back on the Maple Leafs. Are you ever going to make a decision?
Okay. Is he on right now?
Yeah, he is.
It's TV.
Hey, I was asking. We just had him on our podcast. Plan on hitting any Maple Leafs late in this round or what?
Hey, you plan on taking any cheap shots, Tkachuk, is what he's saying?
I don't know what he's talking about. If I would have been taking cheap shots, I would have been suspended.
He said if he would have taken any cheap shots, he would have been suspended. The NHL has rules, obviously, Biz. You're making things up, is what he's saying. What happened to the Oilers? You're off their boat completely, huh? Now we're back on the Maple Leafs.
Trying to get a Stanley Cup back to Canada. I'm just trying to get a Stanley Cup away from the elbow room and Matthew Tkachuk.
I'll tell you what, that elbow room was a good representative of hockey there, I think, for a bit. Matthew Tkachuk taking it into the ocean. That's a good time. What did you think? What do you think of where we are right now in the NHL playoffs and how Panthers are about going to sweep the Leafs, right? And then what do we got next?
I'm gonna sign off here, but tell Matthew that Chief Craig Berube is gonna put Paul Maurice in a mental pretzel. Okay. It's gonna be the best coaching job we've ever seen in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Thanks, Biz. Yeah. He's not. We know Coach Mo. Ain't never going in a pretzel, brother. We know that. Sorry, I interrupted you, Con, man. I think you were talking about Marchand.
Oh, no, it's perfect because Brad Marchand also I don't think has ever lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs, so that's another thing you guys added and stole from Boston. But how has it been having Brad in there? Have your chirps kind of gone up a level because we know Brad's kind of number one in the league when it comes to things like that? Has the team morale kind of been raised because of Brad? And also, how has the chemistry building been with Brad, obviously getting him at the deadline?
Yeah, the team morale is skyrocketed getting a guy like that. I know everybody in Boston, or at least everybody I've talked to. I know they weren't too big of fans of us down here, but now they are with him, and especially they're big fans of us now that we're playing the Leafs here. Yep. Sorry, the air show's going on right above my house right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Can we see it?
Oh, a little bit of a gong show up there, eh?
Tom Cruise?
All right, we're good. We're good now. It sounds like it. It's the air show here down here is awesome. But I know everybody in Boston is pulling for us, especially against the Leafs now. It's great to have a guy like him here. He's such an, ultra competitor. His compete on the ice and his mental warfare that he has with guys and some of the stuff he can say to get them off their game. It's top notch, but it's just so great seeing how great of a player he is up front, like in practices, like during the games. Just a complete player he is. And I know that he's had such an amazing career, but I still don't know if people should give him the credit he deserves, because he really is, an incredible player, and he's been an incredible teammate so far. So we're so lucky to have him. And it was terrible and brutal playing against him, all those years in Boston. So we're very lucky to have him now.
What is some of the mental warfare? What is some of the mental warfare? Does he do research on these people? Because I know obviously we've seen him lick faces. We've seen him piss everybody off. He is a pest. We all know that. But like, what is some of the? He does homework on these guys. He's saying things that you guys don't think is acceptable. Like, why is he the guy whenever it comes to a menacing person?
Yeah, he's probably just got the experience against some of these guys and knows when to get them off their game. Like he's smart with that stuff. He's got some pretty good chirps, but he's now I've always said the guys that make you the most mad are the guys that are in your face. Might chirp you a little bit, but can also go on the ice and back it up and put the puck in the net and produce and ultimately win games. And he does it all. So we're very lucky to have him.
Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Matthew, I know that Anthony Stolarz, the Leafs goalie, was your teammate last year backing up Bob. Is there any kind of advantage you get going against a goalie who you're former teammates with, or not really?
I don't know. I mean, they have Soley, so they got the goalie, they got the defenseman and OEL, and they got Stevie, who was a forward for us last year. So they can they know all of our secrets. So I don't know if it's an advantage or a disadvantage or what it is at all, but. I mean, I don't remember scoring much on Stoley in practice last year. He's so big and he takes up a lot of the net, so we're gonna have to find ways to get it past him, whether it's guys in front of him or making him move a lot. But he's been incredible for them. He was amazing for us last year when he was in. I mean, his numbers were pretty much best in the league, I think, last year when he was in for us. So it's going to be another great goalie battle. We just saw one with Bob, who's been absolutely on fire and incredible this whole year. Him and Vasilevsky last round, and I'm sure it's going to be another great goalie battle with him and Stoley. So I'm looking forward to being in those games.
Do goalies have tells like history, or they go through like glove side on a goalie? Is it always glove side, or they like go through like a little patch where you guys find like there's a potential weakness for the goalie? Is that happening at all times, or is there like a book on most goalies?
Yeah, like normally at the beginning of the series and before each game, we'll go over stuff with the goalie. We'll go over, like the year and the common stuff that's happened over the year, whether it's, like that kind of like a heat map, so like if he's letting a lot, high glove, that'll be a higher percentage there. And then if it's, if he's let up a little bit more than the average, 5-hole, that'll be shown too. But so there's a heat map and a bunch of bullet points that we'll go over before the series, and then like maybe like the last 10 to 20 games stretch. So it might not be a whole body of work, but it'll be what's been going on recently. So I always I'm big into like the numbers and stuff like that, and seeing. It's kind of like an advantage, and all teams do it, and they all go over the pre-scouts, and everybody's so prepared so that by the time when you get in the game, like you're not really thinking out there, you're just playing. So we do a really good job of that with our team.
I'll tell you what, my clap bomb, it's always going stick side. That's so. I don't know what goalie I need to go against to score a goal. How about math? Marc-Andre Fleury getting him, obviously different team, different series, different everything. The respect the league has shown him has been bananas, I feel like. Is that normal? Like, how is it because the duty is? Is it because the player is? How long he played? Or is it just kind of like how the NHL and the hockey culture is?
I think all the above. I mean, what an incredible goalie, what an incredible career. He's played so many games, won 3 Stanley Cups. I think it was 3 Stanley Cups, right? And
yep.
And what he did for that team in Pittsburgh, where that kind of started from the bottom and built up with him and Malkin and Crosby and all the cups that they had and all the success was all started with a guy like him. And you see him go to Vegas and the success that they've had since, and started off with him as well. So everywhere he goes, he seems to bring that winning mentality and that fun culture. I mean, I don't know him too well. I've only met him a few times, but he was a great guy, a lot of fun. Even playing against him, he kind of bugs you a little bit because he's always vocal and moving around and pretty animated. So when he's doing that and he's robbing you, it's never a fun feeling. So he's had an unbelievable career, like I said, and he's just so much success. Everywhere he goes, success follows, and only heard unbelievable things about him as a guy. So. It's not surprising to see the reception he's gotten from the whole league and everybody's playing against the players. I saw the other day, the refs lining up to shake his hand. The crowd, the applause, everything. Nothing surprises me with how he's been treated. He deserves it all.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying it. Obviously, we're from Pittsburgh, so watching him and Malkin and Crosby and Tanger and the boys kind of grow and have success, and then us have to move out of that era, which we are currently in the middle of doing. Sully, now the head coach at the Rangers. Don't know if I love that, but we'll see how it all goes for Pittsburgh. The locker room hijinks, change room hijinks is what like Math was kind of known for. Is that everywhere in hockey? You guys always is there always some sort of shit going on in the locker room? Is there like one person per team? Is that just normal hockey culture stuff?
Yeah, I would say there's a few guys per team that are normally like seem to battle pretty good against each other. With I'm not saying I'm involved or not with my team, but there's.
Oh, you're the guy. You're the guy, huh?
No,
you're the guy.
No.
What are you doing? Taking dumps and ice skates? What are you doing?
No, it's you can never give away your secrets because they'll definitely know it's me. But no, I know that he's been famous, league wide for some of the stuff that he's pulled on his teammates. So I always think it's funny seeing those videos and hearing what he's doing. But yeah, I'm sure each team's got a few guys that like to mix it up with the off ice shenanigans. So, but yeah, he seems like the king of it.
That's awesome. Go ahead, AJ. Sorry, buddy.
Have you ever seen anybody to follow that up? Have you ever seen anyone take it too far? I know I've had some teammates in the past that have ruined guys' cars because they put a bunch of crickets or something and got all in the air conditioners. Like, have you ever seen anything go too far and guys really get serious with it?
I think the one I saw that was probably taken a little bit too far was Johnny Gaudreau got him and one of our other teammates got their heads shaved once, and that was, I mean, they were not too happy about it at all. So I think that was maybe the one that was a little bit too far, but most of the time it's all in pretty good fun. But I'm trying to think, was there anything that's happened around the rink recently? I'm sure there has. But yeah, I try to stay out of it because I don't want to be the target.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, smart. We shipped a car to Montana one time. That was pretty good. That was pretty good little bit.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we got to take it up a notch in the hockey world.
No. I'm not saying it ended up good. That was almost a fight. I think that was almost a full fist fight. But and I say I was
funny ones with I've heard some funny ones with Keith Yandel and Kevin Hayes with like moving guys' cars on a highway. I forget who they did that to, but I've heard a couple funny ones like that, like moving out to the freeway and stuff. Little stuff. It's the little things that are funny.
I think I saw somebody's not on our team. It was somebody else's team. They took somebody's car and put it on like a barge and then moved it out to the middle of like the river that they were practicing next to, and it was just parked in the middle. And
that's a good one. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. That's good. Got to find a ship captain, to get that thing back. That has levels to it. Just something to think about as you continue to move on. Elbow room, I'm sure, has a lot. Tone has the last question for you here, champ.
Yeah. Speaking of exactly that, I was in Fort Lauderdale in February for 4 days. I went to the elbow room all 4 days in your honor. I just kind of wanted to bask in your greatness. But you guys have played a lot of hockey over the last 2 seasons, obviously 2 cup appearances and 1 last year. When you're driving down A1A and you see the elbow room and you look over, is that a little extra motivation? Like, yeah, that's where we want to be again. That's where we want to end this thing. I want to take that thing into the Atlantic Ocean again.
100%. It's nothing but unbelievable memories, and it just makes you want to do it again. So that's the goal this year. Hopefully we can bring it back and run it back. So it's the goal every year, but especially when you have some great memories of success and the memories you have with your teammates and the guys that you've gone to battle with for such a long year, and you can have the pinnacle of hockey and that Stanley Cup right in your backyard, however many minutes away from where I am right now. It's a goal to do it again for sure.
We appreciate the hell out of your time, man. I know you're in the middle of a playoff run, and the NHL playoffs are a grinding time, but it's also electrifying for us as fans. So thank you for giving us a little inside peek, and we can't wait to see what the next locker room hijinks is out of the Florida Panthers. Maybe it's taking that Stanley Cup to maybe take it down there to Tootsie's. Oh, that down there in South Florida. Yeah, maybe a second.
Oh, we got to win this round first. So, yeah, baby steps.
Okay, so there's a chance old Lordo takes a trip to Tootsie's. Okay, sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, Stanley Cup champion, legend, Matthew Tkachuk. Thank you, buddy.
Hey,
I wonder if Lordo's ever been to Tootsie's. I doubt it.
I think Lordo's kind of been everywhere, right? I mean, wasn't it swimming in? Whose pool was he swimming in? Mario?
Yeah,
Lemieux.
Mario's.
Back in the
dented
day?
it.
Yeah, Tampa.
Yeah, but how many South Florida?
Good point.
You know, I don't know how many. Go ahead.
I could see it. I mean, Mike, the keeper of the cup, inside Tootsie's with the white gloves on, just kind of cutting it up. I can definitely see that. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
I'll tell you what, it's sweet talking to Tkachuk, just such a lad of the lads. And I'll tell you, Times Square is active. A lot of people walking around. It's a beautiful day out here. It's supposed to be 80 degrees here in a can you take the lower third off there?
It looks warm.
It's supposed to be 80 degrees here in about 4 o'clock Eastern or so. And a lot of these people, and once again, DAZN, 75 years in the truck, DAZN handles all this stuff. I don't know how many people knew that this was happening. You know, like there's a lot of people that have just been kind of walking around, a lot of people like wondering what the hell is taking place here. And I think their minds are about to be blown that like a very notable, massive set of fights are happening tonight. And Ryan Garcia is going to be here. Devin Haney's going to be here. We got a firefighter fighting a police. I mean, it is going to be a spectacle here in Times Square. And what a special, place in the world's history to kind of do it. And I'm starting to get a little sun, starting to feel a little good. The sun's starting to come out. Maybe I'll get burnt before the kickoff show that starts at 4 o'clock. Can't wait to promote DAZN. They've been a fantastic group of people to work with.
Nice.
This is truly dream come true to help them out so people can realize that this event is fucking happening. So it is. I'm just surrounded. So yeah.
At least it's not like your birthday or your daughter's birthday coming up. So it's not like the cherry on top or anything.
I mean, it's May 2nd's a good day. May 4th, better day. Obviously, that is my daughter's birthday coming right up. So I can't wait to celebrate her turning 2. But yeah, this was a terrible decision. And
well, you were sold. You were sold a different bill of goods. Like you were.
I don't have a clock. There's just
when you committed to it, we were all there. Okay, and then Tuesday comes around, and you're told like, "Hey, by the way, if you bring those fucking assholes you work with, that's not going to work. So why don't you come up here alone? Do it on your own, and then maybe next time you can bring the Bugle Boys, if you will."
Usually, I mean, and then the chaos, just the full chaos that this has been. Every Zoom call, every email. This morning, I try to stay away from it because it is my birthday, and I didn't want to. People just sunning Zito, acting like they know what they're doing. They don't have a fucking clue. I mean, it's just happy birthday. It's great to be here. This is never happening again, and I am pumped to watch these fights. And I don't even know if I have a seat. I assume with the way this has gone with these people, I'll probably have to sit outside that thing to watch this entire fight, and hopefully I'll get a chance to see it.
That's probably your seat. That's probably your seat right there. Can you see the ring from
this one? No, brother. No, I'm getting kicked off of this thing. This is multi-use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We are merely saving a seat for other people that are vastly whatever.
Where's Booker T? When does Booker T join you? 4 p.m. Eastern?
I need Booker T here. I think that is. I think that is what I need. Booker T. I cannot wait. It is a spectacle, because you got Carlo's Bake Shop right over here.
Oh wow, Buddy, that's Buddy.
Which I believe is Buddy. That's literally right there. I was in the Brooklyn Diners, the green room area that we were kind of given. It's around the corner down here. Me and Gumpy got a booth. So that was cool. We got that's our green room is a booth, which has been awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we had some great food here last night. New York City's had some great meat. So I'm not going to say it's been a complete disappointment. Saw Bradley Cooper last night.
What? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, ran into Coop, just so happened to be in the neighborhood. I mean, so we said hello to him. It's been nice coming to New York is a nice place to come visit.
Mm-hmm.
New York is a nice place to come visit, especially whenever the weather's like this and it's alive like this. And there's a massive event happening, once in a lifetime event happening like this in Times Square, with a sport that has obviously been around for centuries, and in a place that has meant so much to not only the United States of America, but the world, this Times Square place. So it was obviously an awesome opportunity to be asked, and excited to never sign up for anything like this again. The
live and you
fire
learn.
department, you live and you learn. That's all you try to do. And as a 38-year-old, that is literally all we're trying to do.
First lesson at 38.
Yep.
Boom.
It's a big reflecting age. I read that this morning. So, something to think about.
Yeah, Tone, I really appreciate your sentimental thoughts to me on that happy birthday message where you didn't even copy and paste the AI.
What?
You just screenshotted the AI.
What was it?
You could have. Yeah.
That was the gimmick.
Yeah, but you could have just copy and pasted that. I think everybody would have known. He just screenshotted an AI happy birthday wish to a friend. Yeah, 38. It was pretty good. It got a pretty good pop out of me, I must say. Yeah, there it is. Turning 38 could be. Yes, this is real. Yeah. And everything I said about what's going on here is real too. You're saying this is my first lesson from 38?
Yeah.
We were all part of these calls all week. I was 37 when these calls were happening.
Yeah.
We knew.
You had an idea?
We knew.
You saying you had an idea before you got there, maybe?
Yeah, but I mean, we've gone off without a hitch here, I guess.
Yeah.
True.
The sun is directed
Shout out
towards
Zito
you.
for that one. Zito's been on Zoom calls all morning figuring this thing out. I'm pretty sure Z handled all that.
Yeah, people have been talking to Zito like he's some big dumb dipshit. Once again, they work for a company that has an event nobody knows is happening. So who's the dipshit? I don't know, but I'm about sick of that. You can. A lot of people say a lot of things about me. I'm at that stage of life. I'm very okay with it. I get it. Some things completely out of line. Some things from a narrative that is false. Some things just complete lie that they've been told and just keep rolling. And some things legit. Like some people hate me just because of who I am. I understand that. I say terrible stuff. But whenever people that we're supposed to be trying to work with just like talk to Zito as if he's some dip, that grinds my gears. Don't talk to my people like that, And then if you're going to talk to my people like that, sweet. That door has been opened. Now this is how our conversation is going to go. So, Zito, I do appreciate the amount of effort that you put in this. Same with Lindsay from the WWE. She's been on about 1,000 emails that have all had things settled. And then, oh, no, those haven't been settled. And then she's recirculating emails that have been settled. But there's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. We're in the middle of Times Square. It's going to be a great fight tonight. The ring looks amazing.
Did they shut the street down, Pat? I can't really tell. Is the street shut down or where's that ring?
No, so it's like I don't know what is normally a street. Their street right here is active. Street right there is active. I don't know if this is normally an active street or if it's just like kind of like normally a marked off spot, And that is just a marked off camera there that Marty just cut to, and we appreciate the hell out of Marty and all his hard work too. Marty was grinding the truck this morning. 75 years of experience in that truck. We were told a couple different times.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of experience. Holy hell, man. You guys got it all figured out, especially in 2025. But the 75 years, man. Wow. All the way back to 1950.
Yeah, they're bringing it.
Crazy.
Oh,
there we go. No signal.
No way.
That's real? That's amazing timing.
That's real.
That was right on the money.
That happened in the exact moment when he was talking about it.
Yep.
Well, what do you think happened? Is we okay? Do we know? And Pat's okay? Everyone
He's working on it.
Everyone in New York City is okay, though, right? Just the feed cut out.
Yeah.
Okay, good to go.
Yeah, just the feed cut out. But I mean, it will be like the NYPD.
There's a lot of big events this week.
So the NYPD plays the.
They don't play. They boss.
No. I'm talking hockey. Don't they do this in hockey as well? There's a big hockey match between FDA and NYPD.
I think they do like rugby as well, and there's probably like a softball game.
Rugby?
Yeah,
they probably do baseball.
Have you ever seen The Departed?
Do we know who is? Do we know who's favored to win this FDNY NYPD fight?
I don't think there was odds on that.
Yeah,
one.
because I believe they're both amateurs.
There was odds on.
They don't make odds for amateur fights. They make odds for tough man contests. I feel like
Brucey Bond did a pretty good breakdown. If you don't forget from yesterday, and he did say one of the two has been like kickboxing. For a very long time. Obviously, it is a boxing match. It is not a kickboxing match, but Bruce is pretty confident one, and Pat is back, thank God.
Oh, good. What happened,
Yeah,
Pat? You all right?
I don't know. I have no idea. Everything's okay. I could hear you perfectly that entire time.
Oh, good.
I think, yep. And the screen just went black over here. I don't know if it's black over there. I'll just continue to power through. You guys just tell me whenever it's okay. Sweet. We are still doing this. Sun's out. Sky's out. Yes, the police department and fire department battle in a lot of different sports. I think they trained. I think their boxers like trained for this though. Like I think like I forget who I met. I met somebody at an event. They were fighting for some fire department. It might be this guy. It might be Joel Allen. To be honest, it might be Joel Allen that I met somewhere. They train for this fight. This fight normally happens at a different setting, a different venue. It wouldn't normally happen at this type of event. So the Ring Magazine that put this together, alongside Fatal Fury, question, it's all good. They wanted to kind of start the whole show with this and kind of pay respect to the city that they're in. So they asked if they would do it here. They're going to do it here. I think it's kicking off tonight. I love this type of shit. Like, I legitimately enjoy this. I have family that obviously are both EMTs and firefighters. I don't have any cops in my family, but like, I understand how much pride each of them have in like their own world. Obviously, they're all coming together whenever something goes wrong in a city. So I appreciate them representing early. And then if you go through the fights, there's a bunch of good fights here tonight. Like, a bunch of good fights. Tsutsumi there, he's 26-2 in Japan. This is going to be his first fight over here in America. There's a chance he's like a guy, but nobody really knows about him. Tiafimo there was a champion already, lost his title, got his title back, and then he retired. Now he's kind of back on the run. Barbosa Jr. is undefeated, so like, you're talking about those first three fights. You got a cop versus firefighter, awesome. Tsutsumi debut here in America, should be great. Tiafimo has been a champion already at the age of 25, has retired already at the age of 25. Barbosa's undefeated. Then you got Devin Haney, fresh off the no contest against Ryan Garcia. Jose Ramirez and Rolly Romero are brawlers. So it's like, tonight's fights should be amazing. I don't know how many people know that these are happening, but these fights are going to be electrifying. I think the people that had the vision for this to happen certainly had the right track. I think they were on the right track, and hopefully it's just all able to pull off. And I know adding us here earlier in the day has certainly been a task that has seemingly been impossible, but it's all going to go well. It's all going to be a great night here on this Friday, May 2nd here in New York City. And I have no idea what time it is. Obviously, there's no clock. And I give the sun, so there is no sense of time here. It's a city that never sleeps.
That's right.
And
have you seen Ryan Garcia yet, or any of the boxers? Have you had to see any of them yet?
I've not. I saw them do the weigh-in. I saw the press conference. I saw Devin Haney's dad. He's been mixing it up. Bill Haney, he's been mixing it up a little bit with Oscar De La Hoya. They've been kind of getting into it. I've seen some of the sit-down interviews. There's like B-roll shots of interviews I think Chris Mannix was doing for DAZN. I don't know. I honestly have no idea if any human on earth has seen any of those or when they're going to see those. But like Rolly and Garcia talking to each other, awesome.
Yep.
Absolutely awesome. Devin Haney's interview is great. It's like, got a lot of good personalities on this card, got a lot of good fights on this card. I don't know boxing inside and out, but I am pumped if I get an opportunity to watch these fights, to see these fights tonight after the kickoff show that starts at 4 o'clock that me and Booker T are going to be hosting. And now I hear a full echo in my ear. I assume you guys are hearing the same thing.
No.
It's good. It's good. There's going to be good music in tonight's fight, too, because I think while we've had this first hour, they've been playing music in my ear, too, throughout the entire.
Heard some cymbals.
So if you guys haven't. No, that's the live drummer here. This guy's a talent. I heard him before we went live. This guy is a talent.
Is he right over your shoulder? Is he like right next to you, warming up? Is a sound check?
Travis Barker-esque.
He's right. He is
nice.
awesome. He's got great hair, sunglasses. He is very good. He's got to get his rehearsal time in, too. Like, I completely understand that. So I'm not worried at all about that. Just testing the music. Just testing the music throughout the truck. And 75 years in the truck, what's going out, what's coming in, we don't know at all times. But it's a great day to be in New York City. It's a great day to be alive. And I'm old as shit now. And I'm being told we got about 15 seconds to the hard out. You need to know in the next hour, we got Q Rich talking basketball. We got boxing talk. We got sports talk. And we're going to have a great time with it. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. If I change their life, we'll see you in 3.
Belle Sessions, who got here at 3 a.m. this morning, was the winner. Her ticket was pulled, and you thought to yourself immediately, what, Belle?
I knew I couldn't do it, and he was next to me, and he said that he could, so we're splitting it.
Okay, so Belle Sessions made the decision to talk to my man, Henry Silver, who Henry got here yesterday at 6 p.m. He's been waiting for this moment. Now, Henry, you told her that you could make it. Why do you think that's the case? Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I've kicked a ball before. I've played soccer my whole life. I think I can do it.
This kick is for $150,000. You said you would split it in half, right? Yes, sir. Okay, so let's make it $200,000. If you make it, you will both get $100,000. Where are you from, Henry?
I'm from Fishers, Indiana.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Colts.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Come on, bro. Hell yeah. To hell with the Falcons. That was rude. They didn't deserve that. I like that. Henry, 33 yards, $100,000 for you, $100,000 for her, $200,000 to hurricane relief, $400,000 on the line. Henry, are you ready?
Of course.
Have you ever said anything bad about kickers?
Of course.
Shut up. Let's go. Now, here in Athens, Georgia, it would be beautiful if $400,000 would be up for grabs. Why don't we double it because the Georgia Bulldogs? So, $800,000 kick right here, Henry. But what I want to let you know is you're not getting a second opportunity. I don't care if this entire place starts chanting for a second kick. One kick, 800,000 racks, 400,000 to hurricane relief, 400,000 to you two split, 200 grand each. Henry Silver from Indiana for Bell Sessions. Let's go, Henry! Oh my! Henry! Henry! Come in, buddy! Come in! Let me see this. Let me see this, Henry. It's amazing. I mean, he walked in like, Henry! Congratulations, Henry! Congratulations, Bell! Dude! Congratulations, Georgia! What a morning! College game day's the greatest. College football's amazing. Bell, you just won $200,000. You're a genius.
Why is
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Hour 2, the Pat McAfee Show. Feel Good Friday, May 2nd. Another happy birthday to Mr. Pat McAfee, who joins us live from Times Square.
Sports!
Hell yeah.
There it is, Pat. How'd everything go over the break? You guys good? Everything situated? I know we lost you for a
I
second.
didn't move. I just stood right here, didn't move. It's great. The weather's fantastic. The people are spectacular outside of the fences here. And Times Square's alive. Big night tonight. Big fight tonight. Once-in-a-lifetime event in Times Square as the Ring hosts Fatal Fury. Clash of the Cities. Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, Devin Haney, Ramirez, Satsumi coming to America, and Teofimo Lopez and Barbosa will battle right here in Times Square on DAZN. Now, forget the thoughts that I have on a lot of things that are happening. I guess the fact that we're up right now, Matt Brown is calling a modern miracle because of what's going on in the what he has seen. You know, he's been bouncing back and forth from a certain different things. I assume getting in here maybe wasn't as easy. Maybe it feels like there should have been enough time. It's a Feel Good Friday. It's an honor to be here, AJ. The NHL playoffs are happening. The NBA playoffs are happening. Obviously, Kentucky Derby is taking place this weekend that you will be at. There's a lot of magic in the sports world, and that's really what the true focus should be on. So I'm gonna stop bitching about everything being half-assed and terribly run around here, and I'm gonna enjoy this Feel Good Friday. I'm gonna let this Feel Good Friday be be a fantastic one because this event's going to be electric. Sports are electric, and I'm still alive, brother. And that's what we're talking about. I am going to get burnt. I did not expect this type of sun. I did not expect this type of sun, but that's good because you get a nice little base tan going into the spring, into the summer. Life can be magical, AJ. So we got Q Rich joining us here in a matter of moments. I know you're not alone over there in Thunderdome. Thank you for taking the trip. You look amazing. The Talks Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt are there. Ty, I know you're a big boxing guy. Tonight's fights are about to be magnetic here in Times Square, brother.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you mentioned it. It's like we got 3 main event, matches, mixed up throughout this card. And then you said it earlier, too. I love the FDNY versus NYPD type thing. I feel like that's something that people are not usually privy to, don't have access to, definitely, unless you're in the city. I mean, I know you said they make like kind of a big deal about it, and this event would be in like an actual, arena or something like that. I think Bruce mentioned a couple days ago they used to do it in the theater below Madison Square Garden. But seeing 2 guys, I mean, I don't know if they genuinely have bad blood, but, if movies have told us anything, the fire department and the police department, these guys don't like each other and they're out for blood. So I'm very excited to watch that as well from 2 guys who, even if you are like a big-time boxing fan, you probably haven't heard or seen anything from either one of these guys, and anything could happen. I'm expecting fireworks tonight.
Yeah, and that starts the fight, and then obviously we end with Garcia Romero, and that should be a slobber knocker as well. So it should be an incredible evening. We potentially are kicking off the entire thing at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock kickoff show. Tomorrow's kickoff show's time for Canelo's fight, which we'll be doing live from the Thunderdome, has changed like 3, 4, 5 times.
Sure.
And after meeting these people that are running this thing, I would never guess that there may be, some indecision or something like that. But it's good. Everything's good. Let's go to one half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. Garcia, heavy favorite tonight, I do believe, in the main event. Any other betting odds that we need to look at for this particular night or weekend that you like, Tone?
Yeah, Garcia is a heavy betting favorite. He's minus 1,200 versus Romero. Haney is also minus 1,200 in his fight. Susumi is minus 5,000 in his fight. The closest fight as far as odds go is Teofimo and Barbosa, which we have talked about. Barbosa is undefeated. Like you could get Barbosa at plus 200 right now. I think that's probably my favorite bet of the night. If you're looking at the other fights where, the favorites are minus 1,200 or something like that, you're either going to have to guess the round, the method of victory, whether it's knockout or decision, stuff like that. But no, as far as the closest fight, the Teofimo and Barbosa one is the closest one. And if I get an undefeated dog in Barbosa, yeah, I think you could sign me up for that. When I was studying the sweet science for last night, that one felt real good.
Well, Teofimo's got his moxie back.
Yeah, does he, or did you just say he does?
I seen him with sunglasses on and a nice sweatband. I think he's a guy that is potentially a problem. I mean, if we're gonna get some sun, we might as well.
You need one of those metal
mirror. Get a mirror.
Sun things.
Yeah, and there's a big gorilla over here.
Go get it. Go get it.
That's what I'm saying. I think the 1 versus 100 thing is a little bit blown out of proportion with the Times Square gorilla I saw over here. I did see Elmo. I did see Spider-Man. I did see the Cowboy, and I appreciated their halftime performance at Lucas Oil Stadium a couple of years back. And that was very, very kind of them. And definitely Fathom. Yep, absolutely, brother. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I saw Hulkster was there, too.
Yeah, Hulkster's pitching. He's got an amateur wrestling promotion.
A shoot wrestling promotion, right?
Freestyle. Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea because if you watch that Matt Madness, there's like I think there's a lot of opportunity there with how good those guys are, how electric those environments are, and how much talent there is. I mean, Penn State alone has like 14 national champions. How about Gable Steveson? Yep. And how about the Hendrickson fellow? How about these guys? Like, other than the Olympics, what are their opportunities they have? I hope Eric Bischoff, who I assume is going to do a lot of the business of this entire thing. Obviously, he led the WCW for 82 weeks over the WWF before that inevitable downfall. Is he, I learned the name.
I think it's Martinez.
Izzy Martinez is a part of it. I don't think I know him, but I think he comes from the freestyle amateur wrestling world. And then Hulk Hogan bringing all the promotion, brother, and I assume the beer that the boys are going to want to drink afterwards. I hope that works, man, legitimately, because we grew up in Plum, obviously, in our hometown. I had friends that were wrestlers. I appreciate and respect the sport. I respect how hard it is. I respect how tough you got to be a amateur wrestler. I appreciate the garbage bag runs. I appreciate like everything about the sport. And I think the only thing that's kind of been missing is the only avenue to get paid is either you go to the UFC and learn other mixed martial arts, or you come to the WWE, or you just take your cauliflower ear and your work ethic and try to figure it out somewhere else. So if they're able to get that done, I think that'll be good for a sport that they were trying to get rid of just a few years back, AJ.
Yeah, we all know how hard wrestling is. Like, amateur wrestling is ridiculous. I still remember being at basketball practice, watching my buddies that wrestled come out of the wrestling room to go get a drink out of the old school drinking fountain, and they looked like they were on the steps of hell. How they tired they were, how sweaty they were. So yeah, those guys need to get some. They need to find some avenue to pay those guys some money. They deserve a lot of cash actually for what they've been doing.
Well, how about them spitting to lose weight and stuff like just. The amount of commitment, the lifestyle that those dudes, let alone how bad it hurts to have cauliflower. I mean, I got bruised ear from Gunther whenever he smacked those ham hocks on there. Thought I was going to get cauliflower ear, popped my eardrum. I thought I was done, maybe for the rest of my life. I have recovered, obviously, and I'll be ready for next Saturday. But it's like the amount of pain, the amount of discipline, the amount of commitment, and how great that sport is, especially whenever it's packed arena and they got the highest levels competing. I don't see why it can't have success. So hopefully they do. Hopefully we get a chance to watch it. Hopefully they get a TV deal. I watched two guys wrestle around a tractor tire on ESPN, the Ocho, this offseason. So I would assume they're going to be able to get a TV deal. Hopefully they're able to market that. Let's pivot away from amateur wrestling. Let's get to the association, the NBA. I am standing in the middle of a city that was electric last night because the New York Knicks hit a game-winning 3 to knock the Detroit Pistons out of the playoffs. Joining us now is a man who's a friend of the program. I think it was 12 years in the NBA, maybe 13. I don't have it in front of me. Ladies and gentlemen, 13 years, Quinton Richardson.
Yeah, Rich.
What's
up,
going on?
Rich?
Happy B-Day, Pat. Happy Born Day, player.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I think by the end of the day with the sun, you and me can have the same complexion, brother. You and me can have the same complexion. I appreciate you with the love there for the birthday. I'm getting old. Obviously, we all are. But the playoffs are just getting ripe, it feels like, in the NBA. We can start with this Knicks game because of how electrifying the finish was. And this city was alive last night. People pouring out of bars. The excitement was oozing. And there was an 11-0 run, I think, by the Pistons late to tie this up. It got really into a dogfight before the clutch player of the year does what he does at the end of the game. What are your thoughts on the Knicks? What are your thoughts of them coming out of the series? It was a very physical series with the Pistons. And what should the realistic expectations be for the Knicks going forward against a very, very, very good reigning champion?
I mean, I love what happened. I mean, I love the physicality of that series. I loved everything about that series. That shot that JB hit last night, listen, that was beautiful. I'm talking about when you think about it, like get a guy going that way and then dribble into it and everything from the move to the dribble up to the release, rotate. It was perfect. Like, watch the spin on the ball. That's perfect right there. The ball is seamed up perfect, like from a shooting standpoint. Listen, only thing that could have made this shot any better is that it was at the actual buzzer and put triple zeros on the clock. That's the only thing that could have made that better.
Whenever you think about the next series, taking on a team that is, I guess, in the future breaking up. Is that what Sham said yesterday, Connor?
Yeah, he said that, Pat. But look, let me just explain something to you, all right? When teams are as good and as dominant as the Boston Celtics, Silver has no choice but to force them to break up. And, Sham says a lot of things. And I'd like to take a page out of Jimmy Butler's agent's book and say, you don't know shit, Shams. I don't want to hear what you have to say. Okay, brother? The Celtics are staying together forever, and they're going to win 5 more titles over the next 7 years.
Knicks have anything that can beat the Celtics, though? Q? Like, what is the realistic expectations there?
I mean, if everything goes right for them and you know they clicking on all cylinders, obviously anything can happen. The game still need to be played, but I mean, if I'm picking, I'm still rolling with Boston. I felt like the Knicks had a great chance coming out of this series, and I still had Boston, picked to move on from him. I just think they too strong, top to bottom. They got a lot of depth. They got everything they need. They got championship experience. They were just there last year. And I love what the Knicks are doing, but I don't know. They haven't been able to beat these guys the whole season. They struggled against the top few teams, and I don't see that changing right now.
Yeah, especially after a tough one against that tough Detroit team. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Q, obviously the Clippers beat the Nuggets last night, forced a Game 7 that we all are excited to watch Saturday night. How do you see that one playing out? And did you expect this, I guess, with the Nuggets, obviously firing a coach, a month and a half, however long ago, did you expect them to possibly make a deep run in these playoffs?
No, I don't expect them to make a deep run. I didn't expect this series to be easy either. I expected it to go 6 or 7 games. I think now, obviously, when you get to Game 7, it can go either way. And we're going to see. I mean, I think if Kawhi continues to play like he plays, and obviously Harden steps, I mean, the big three, obviously, for them played well last night. Powell, Kawhi, and Harden. And then, Big Zoo is going to do what he does. But I think if they could get another game like that from all of those guys, I think they should be able to tip the scales and beat Denver. But, I mean, the way Jamal Murray has played and obviously Joker is ever present, but Jamal Murray playing the way he's played and obviously with Aaron Gordon and the other guys stepping up and being sufficient, this has been a great series. And Russ is to me, Russ Westbrook has been one of my favorite players for the longest of time since he came into the league. So for me, it's dope to see him playing well and out there doing what he does and having fun and then helping his team win.
Talk about the Clippers a little bit, Q. I mean, what a team here now. I don't think anybody expected this. Obviously, Kawhi in the playoffs is Kawhi in the playoffs. James Harden playing like James Harden. The Intuit Dome is awesome and electrifying. But there's some teams, that or some players, I guess, that when the playoffs come, they get better. Jimmy Butler was one of those guys, obviously, with his move up to Golden State. But Kawhi in the playoffs is a guy that everybody fears, always has. I don't think I know who or what Kawhi is. Kawhi is loves basketball. What is Kawhi? And what is this Clippers team, you think?
I mean, Kawhi is unique in the sense that, he's a private guy in an era in a world where everything is made public. And, I mean, he doesn't subscribe to that. He's not on social media. He doesn't do much, commercial and any of that stuff. You don't really see him out and about. He's to himself with his family. I mean, but at the heart of it, Kawhi is a baller. I mean, yeah, he's had a lot of injuries and he's had to deal and battle through a lot of different things. And I think he's learned over time to take his time and give his body his proper time to heal. Because I think this time right now, you see him come back. He's a lot stronger than he's been in previous attempts. So I think, he's just a guy that's quiet, man. I think what from him with all of his teammates, everybody says he's one of the funniest guys on the team. He's funny to be around. But, I mean, he doesn't really subscribe to everything on the outside. If you know him, you know him. If you don't, unfortunately, you don't. But, I mean, I think he's a gym rat. He's a baller. I mean, when you watch him play, anybody that's played ball and been in the league, that this is a guy that works extremely hard on his game. When he's healthy and he's available to do his thing, You don't go out there and perform and do the things he's doing in the manner that he's doing them without putting a whole lot of work and a lot of reps into what he's able to do.
I think that's the same thing that can be said about Joker. Everybody say he doesn't take it serious. Well, you have to be that great. It's like Kawhi.
Yeah,
you have to. You have to love ball to be that great, to commit to it that much. And I love that we're getting to see playoff Kawhi. I like that the Clippers are on a roll, and I like that Ballmer has a chance to potentially roll. There's a couple storylines coming out of the East. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Q Rich. Right now, the Bucks are kind of getting killed, and that's also the story about Game 5 with the Pacers. Is Tyrese Halliburton's dad almost smacked Giannis in the mouth, and Giannis almost popped his head off as well. But the stories right now, especially surrounding Milwaukee, is Giannis leaving, and T's and P's to Greg Popovich as well, because San Antonio has been tied to Giannis. But what do you think about the whole situation in Milwaukee? They don't really have much cap space. They kind of did abide by what Giannis wanted by bringing in Dame, but that didn't really work. Do you see Giannis staying in Milwaukee? Do you think that there is a chance where he might go down to San Antonio because San Antonio is completely building around Wemby? They obviously brought in De'Aaron Fox. What do you see the future of him being, and do you think Milwaukee's in one of the worst spots right now because they have no money and they haven't really done anything in the playoffs with Giannis in recent history?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think they're in a difficult spot with everything, with the roster the way it is, with Dame going down, and with Giannis looming. But I mean, I still feel as a front office, as an organization, they're not moving off Giannis unless he comes and he makes it clear to them that that's what he wants to be done and he wants that to happen. And I can see them possibly trying to facilitate that for him, but I don't think they'll come to that decision on their own to try. And I don't see them giving him up and going and proving anything and trying to go win a championship. That, like, the best way forward for them first is to keep him and try and do anything else around that. But unless short of him coming to the front office and saying that, I don't think they try to make that move. But I mean, we know this is a superstar-driven league, and we've seen time and time again. Once that superstar makes that, takes that direction and they make it known, that usually happens one way or another. I don't know where it will be or where he desires to be, but I mean, if he makes that known, more than likely he'll be moving on to somewhere.
Let's talk about the team that knocked them out in 5 games. Okay, gentlemen's sweep. Conversations about the Greek Freak for a reason, but the Pacers are the real deal. So are the Cavs. Go ahead, Diggs.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about these two teams because everyone talks about the Knicks and the Celtics, and these two cities, they're salt-of-the-earth cities, and they're salt-of-the-earth teams. The Cavs are minus 550 to win the series, and for people who don't know betting, that is a pretty heavy favorite. Is there a reason why you think the Cavs are such heavy favorites? Because Connor brought this up the other day. I think one of the teams is 36-15, and one of the teams is 35-14 over the last 50 or so games. They've both been hot to end the season. Why do you think the Cavs are such heavy favorites?
I think you got to look at it. This is a very narrative-driven league. Everything is like based on the last game. It's not based on the full body of work. And I mean, those numbers you just threw out there, alludes to that not being based on what the real body of work is. The narrative in the story is that the Cavs has led, the East wire to wire, been the number one team from the beginning to the end. And they just walloped the Heat in the first round, so they looking like they primed to do all of these great things. And we know how it is in the playoffs. I like Cleveland. If I had to pick in this series, I probably would pick Cleveland to win this series.
Oh, is that right? Is that right, Q? Yeah. Well, is that because Halliburton's dad's not going to be there? Huh? Is that why?
I mean, listen. Unfortunately, I hope for the best. I hope eventually they let Halliburton's dad come back to games eventually, because I don't think that was. I hate that it happened. I know this guy's a good guy, and I think whatever happened, he just got ahead of himself. And I don't think he apologized. I think he was sincere, and I think this was like, damn, like he can't come to the games. Period. Like I didn't think it should have went that far. I thought, obviously disciplinary action should have been taken, but I think. Considering everything that went down and that could have went down.
Yes.
Okay.
Him going forehead to forehead with Giannis. I think that was probably the part, And Tyrese even came out.
Scared for him. I was before he even got I got more scared as it went on. Like when he first came out there and was standing there with the towel and Giannis was looking at him, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, Giannis is deciding right now in real time, am I going to just spear this dude or take his head off, or what am I gonna do? And then he was like, okay. I was like, okay, he let it go. And then I was like, oh no, he didn't let it go. I was like, oh God. I was like, I don't know what's about to happen right now.
Yeah.
And it was just, they were at forehead, that was scary. I felt scared for Mr. Halliburton when that went on. And I was really,
I did as well.
Scared,
Tyrese had no idea it happened, and obviously until way after. He's in the locker room because he does the whole. He jumps up on the scorer's table. What a moment! He just took Giannis to the rack to win a series in Indianapolis. Jumps up on the scorer's table, has a good time. They almost push him. He almost falls over. Shout out to Obi. He comes down. He does an interview, and then afterwards he goes and talks to his dad and his mom and his lady, and then he heads into the locker room, probably on cloud 100 or whatever. Sits down in the locker room. The boys are having a moment, and then somebody goes, "Did you see your dad?" And then, no, what happened? And then he watches the video, and it's like, oh no. You know, the way you said it, I think is how like everybody says. Like the guy got ahead of himself. Obviously, he is a very type A, I guess would be the person. I don't know. He's an
animated, energetic guy.
Very supportive of his kid too, which I respect. Like I like the fact that he has been like Tyrese's. Tyrese's dad and mom, big champion of Tyrese, very supportive. So I love that. But is that the reason? Because he's not going to be in the building? You think the Cavs are going to beat the Pacers, Q? Is that the reason? Is that what swayed you over to the Spider-Man in the Cleveland Cavaliers, brother?
No. I want to also say, while I am picking the Cavs, I wouldn't be shocked if the Pacers pushed them or even won this series. I would not. I'm just saying I do pick the Cavs here, but I don't think it's like, I don't look at it being a sweep or a gentleman's sweep or nothing like that. I look at this as a 6 or 7 game series that could go either way, but I'm picking the Cavs. That would be my pick. I think for me, Donovan Mitchell, if he's the best player in the series like he has been throughout the season, they should win. And I think he should be the deciding factor. I think he's the biggest superstar in this series, and he has a chance of having the biggest imprint on this series.
Can the Cavs win it all?
No, I don't. I can't see him getting past Boston. I'm stuck on the Boston train right now. If y'all can't tell, I'm stuck until they show me a reason to get off of it. I'm cemented right there and believing they should go back to back.
Why does Shams, and I saw the report, or I saw the reaction on the internet after the Shams report of Boston's future. You know, they're going to have to reshuffle some things. And I saw everybody on the internet basically like, yeah, this is how this goes. You spend a bunch of money and then you're going to have to turn it over. And in football, you have to do that as well. Did it rattle the NBA world a little bit to hear Shams say that the Celtics are already looking to rearrange their team while they're in the middle of a dynasty run right now?
Maybe to the people that weren't in the know. I mean, once they put in the aprons and all those different things, and when they signed these guys, if you remember when they were signing these guys to these deals, they were saying that would loom large in the coming future anyway. So I mean, you expect certain things to happen, and that's why these guys, the general managers and the presidents, get paid the big bucks so that they could use those big brains and figure out how to make it work and retool and come back and do it again.
Connor doesn't love it.
I mean,
I don't
look, it stinks, but you know, if Giannis is serious about winning a championship, then he should be serious about coming down to Boston. That's all. He already looks good in green. We know that. So I don't know. Maybe Giannis comes down to Boston. I know Boston has incredible Greek food as well, Giannis.
Okay, I saw
Brad Stevenson. Brad is awesome at putting the teams together. I'm sure he'll figure it out. That's how y'all got this current situation y'all got, because he did such a great job, putting it together. So I got confidence he'll get y'all back to where y'all need to be.
Yeah.
Brad Stevenson, Indiana guy. just as we continue to talk ball, let's just remember the Pacers, in the state of Indiana, are ready to go on a run. There was a lot of conversation about a guy that used to do what we do for a living, which is talk on TV and host podcasts, especially with his decisions late in the season. Ty has a question for you, Q.
Yeah, Q Rich, starting last night and then really this morning, everyone's kind of coming at JJ Redick and killing him and basically placing the Lakers' early exit almost solely on his shoulders. When you look at, and then he came out and basically said, like, hey, we need to do this list of things if we actually want to be a championship contender, whether it's, getting everybody on the same kind of conditioning plan, all that kind of stuff. When you look at this, how much of this do you think is JJ's fault, or is a big part of it Rob Pelinka, the way, everybody celebrated him when they got Luka in that trade, but then you look at the roster construction, they had 4 bench points in that game 5. Like, they were forced to play these guys their starters 40-plus minutes in all these games, and as a result, the question of Luka's conditioning and LeBron being 40 years old and all that kind of stuff came up. So did JJ have a choice in terms of doing something different, or, is it justified that people are killing him the way they are?
I think it's a bit unfair, and I think some people say, "Oh, JJ rubs you the wrong way," or this or that. To me, it's like, if you look at the scope of everything, JJ and the coaching staff did a great job first half of the season. Then the team got blew up by a monumental trade, trading Luka Doncic, for Anthony Davis and Christie. And it's like now they came out to JJ and the staff's credit, they came out that second half of the season. And they put them in positions, and to the players' credit as well, because they had to do the plan, but they put them in positions, even with the small ball unit or whatever, they found a scheme that worked for them. They found it, they clicked, and they hit a little streak, and they put themselves in the third seed. So I think when they got to the third seed, it made everybody, the world outside, think that, hey, they should be competitors for a champion and this. When in reality, when they never got the big man, this roster wasn't really set to be a contending team for a champion. And facing Minnesota in that first round completely exposed that. You saw Rudy Gobert out there looking like Shaq, you know what I'm saying? And they had nothing for it. And it was, okay, people can be critical that he didn't play Jackson Hayes, but it was like, what was happening when Jackson Hayes was out there on the court? What was happening when these guys were out there? It was a reason that he opted to do the things he did. And my thing is like everybody's being so you get the knee-jerk reactions. I'm used to that. I know that's how it goes. But to hear the things that are being said, it's like you can't take away this great first season that JJ had and the great job he did and throw it all away because they lost in the first round and they were the higher seed. Could he have done things better? I'm sure. I mean, that's for any coach in any situation, whether he's a rookie or whether he's a veteran coach. I'm not naming any names, but there's plenty of coaches right now that have made mistakes in these playoffs, and win, lose, or draw, that doesn't make them a bad coach. That's just part of it. You learn from it and you go ahead and get better. And when JJ spoke about the conditioning things, I saw zero things wrong with it, because anybody who played or knows JJ, he was maniacal in the offseason. He came in the best shape possible. He went crazy. That was literally why he said that was one of the reasons he decided to retire, because he didn't want to do another one of his off seasons because of what it required from him and what he put into it. So I don't have a problem with him demanding that people, go out and put into it what you want to get out of it. If you don't put everything into it, you're not going to get everything out of it. And I think he knows that firsthand. So I don't have a problem with him saying that.
Maybe JJ plays for the Lakers next year. Maybe it's a player coach situation like what Joker's doing right now in Denver. Let's stay in the West. AJ has a question for you, Q.
Yeah, Q. The Rockets travel and take on the Warriors tonight, Game 6, trying to stave off elimination. The Rockets are. How do you see this thing playing out? And are you surprised at how physical this whole series has been and how back and forth it is?
I'm like I said earlier, I'm surprised across the board at how physical the playoffs have been and how tough these guys have made it. I love it, to be honest, but I was not expecting it. I'll say that. And as far as this game goes, man, I don't know. I feel like if the Warriors are who I think they are, they're gonna close this thing out tonight. I don't know whether it's Jimmy that has a big game, whether it's obviously Jimmy or Steph have to have a big game, but whether it's Pajinski or one of the other guys that step up. But if the Warriors are trying to be really contenders for championships, they will close this thing out tonight. Because if it gets to Game 7, you just never know, man. And the Rockets will have home court. They're a young and crazy athletic team. They unbelievably streaky. And you see, they everything is chippy. So if it gets to Game 7, we all know everything else is out the window and anything can happen. So you don't want to get there.
Spencer, a lacrosse kid, right, Connor?
Oh, yeah, Pat Spencer. He played lacrosse in college at Loyola, Maryland, and transferred.
Headbutt.
played basketball at Northwestern. Absolute junkyard dog. He was actually interviewed while he was playing lacrosse by Quinton Kesnick, and Quinton Kesnick basically went with him to do a basketball workout, and he said after it, like, hey, Pat Spencer is not joking around with basketball. He's actually going to do something. But with this series too, Q Rich, there's been a lot of talk about Steph's thumb and Dylan Brooks and them saying, like, hey, yeah, if I had a bad ankle or a bad shoulder, that is what we're attacking. Can we expect Dylan Brooks or, one of these more gritty players on Houston, maybe even Ime Udoka on the sidelines, to probably grab and yank Steph's thumb early in this game? And do you think this will affect them greatly going forward?
Listen, I said this when he first got this injury. It's such a nagging. He won't be better with this until basketball is over with this season. So he sits down for the summer and goes and just doesn't do anything, because you could literally. First of all, I have zero problems with what Dylan Brooks said either, because that's what we would do. If something is wrong with him and he's out there and it's like it's a weakness, it's not like we're gonna do anything dirty. Especially, you don't even have to do with something like a thumb that's a knuckle. Every time he dribbles and somebody swipes at the ball, when he passes, when he goes to reach, when he goes to catch the ball, sometimes when he dribbles the ball, that thing is always out there. So it's not even like you have to go above and beyond and do anything dirty. It's a natural reaction. If he's going to dribble when somebody's trying to steal the ball, they could hit it. Just like he hit it on somebody's leg. Like it's one of the easiest injuries to keep hitting and keep nagging at the whole time. So when that comes to that, it's not even, that's why Steph is looking like, nah, it's not a problem. It's just, it is what it is. And he knows that it's going to get hit, whether somebody's trying to do it intentionally or not. It's just part of it.
Re-aggravating a thumb injury, especially being the greatest shooter of all time, has to be annoying. Thumb, big deal for a shooter. Obviously, you're a former three-point shooting champion. Thumb, massive part of the shot, right? I mean, that's a huge...
Absolutely. That's why I look and that's why Steph is the best shooter ever in the world. Like, I hated to have anything on any of my hands or fingers. I wanted total touch and feel of the ball. So I can tell, I know from experience that, like, having that thumb taped and not being able to completely feel the ball, it alters your natural shot. So he's had to, do whatever he's had to do to adjust to that. And that just shows how great of a shooter he is. But, like, I hated having anything. I didn't want finger sleeves, tape. I didn't want anything on my hands just because it didn't feel natural to me, and I wanted always to be able to have that feel of the ball.
Fox, you remember I had that paper cut on my ring finger on my right side. I couldn't hit a three in the office.
It was never the same since you had that.
Yeah, ingrown fingernail too on my right pinky. Every time it's just a little bit too much, I think that's why I don't shoot like Steph. I think those are potentially, I got this, constant ingrown fingernail.
The smallest things can throw everything off. So I feel you. I feel you there, man. The smallest things can make all the difference.
Let's talk about some of the biggest thing, like rest. Tone has the last question for you here, Q.
Yeah, Q Rich, the Thunder have been off for basically a week, and they're still waiting to find out their opponent. In the NBA, is there a rest versus rust type situation? Is all this rest a good thing, or can they potentially be rusty going into the next series versus a team that has played a potential 7-game series?
If I'm being honest, man, from experience, if OKC comes out and they play really well and they win against whoever they play against, they're going to say it's not a problem. If they don't, they're going to say, oh, we had to, that's just how it goes, man. I can't really honestly say that one or the other makes all of the difference, because if they had some guys that were kind of dealing with knickknacks or whatever, they got a great time right now to get healthy and come out and be hitting on all cylinders. So it could be good or I don't. To me, it's weird to say one or the other, and I feel like it only gets said after the fact when you see the result and you try and put things and make them tangible and tie them to what you want your narrative to be. For me, it's because it's like as a basketball player, is you just wake up and it's like, do I feel good today? And it's like, I could have had all the rest in the world and whatever, I just don't feel rested. And so it's just subjective. It doesn't really makes sense for me to say that. I've always looked at that and kind of laughed at it because I felt one or the other didn't really matter.
Yeah, it's all outcome based, which is why sports talk is so great, because anything can happen in sports. We were talking about this last night. We were on we took a helicopter into the city. Okay,
Nice.
me,
Big
Gumpy,
time.
and Bruce.
Okay.
You know, that
West Side
traffic.
Highway action, little West Side Highway action. Get you out the way.
Yeah. You know, that traffic getting in from Teterboro to the city, that could be longer than the flight from Indianapolis to New Jersey. So, you know, especially if there's a couple car crashes or something down. So a couple of years back, I learned that you got to chopper into the city. You can't roll any dice in there. Now, you know, there's been some things that have happened with helicopters. And so that certainly kind of, you know, slows you down a little bit. But as we're flying, you know, you start thinking about like life and you start chit-chatting about it. And then we all just led right back to like why sports are great, because literally anything can happen. Like literally anything can happen. Last night, Jalen Brunson doesn't have to make that, you know, and the Detroit Pistons win that series. And all of a sudden the Detroit Pistons are all the way back, and then Beef Stew's getting healthy. And it's like the city of Detroit all of a sudden is a basketball city again. Instead, Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year. What you've done in the past doesn't necessarily mean anything for what you're going to do in the future. You have to do it every single time. Knocks that down. This entire city is elated. There's a vibe here. It's like anything can happen in sports. So whenever you're talking about the rest versus rust thing, it's like people will pound the drum on one particular side, and then the outcome will be the complete opposite thing, and they'll still think that they were right because it could have happened. That's why sports are the greatest, and I hope that young crew over there in OKC have rest instead of rust, because the year that they've had, I hope they don't slow down. But, man, basketball is heating up, and this playoff is going to be great. You like the Celtics, it sounds like. I think you need to keep an eye out for the Pacers. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, you got some dogs barking without a dad. And I don't love that. I don't love that John Halliburton's not a part of it. We appreciate you, Q. Rich. Have a great weekend, man.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Enjoy your B-Day, fam.
You know much about boxing?
I watch it.
Okay, here's the fight card for tonight. I want you to make your picks for the fights. This is happening tonight on DAZN. It's right here at Times Square. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, once-in-a-lifetime event live from Times Square. Do you have the firefighter or the police officer, Q Rich?
I'm going to go with the firefighter.
Okay, everybody likes the firefighter, by the way. Firefighter always shows up and is always a hero. I think that is one of the problems that police have with firefighters, that the police sometimes have to deliver bad news. Firefighters are always beloved. Let's go with Tsutsumi, who is 26-2 in Japan, making his debut over here in the United States of America, taking on Whittington. Who do you like in that fight, Q?
What's Whittington's record?
Let me pull it up.
Undefeated. Tsutsumi a heavy favorite.
Yeah, Tsutsumi like a very, very, very heavy favorite. Here we go. 2-2 is Whittington.
Give me Tsutsumi. Okay, I see what's going on here.
They're trying to launch Tsutsumi, I do believe. Teofimo Lopez was a prodigy, became a champion at the age of 25. Then he lost his title. Then he won it back. Then he retired. And there's actually a moment where I guess he was asking his corner if he was still a dog or not. He's seemingly all the way back, taking on an undefeated Barboza. Lopez, I believe, is favored in this fight. Barboza, who is undefeated underdog. This is going to be a great one, as all these fights are. Who do you like? What do you think, Q?
I'm going to go with Teofimo.
Wow.
Okay, Teofimo's a dog too. He did his interview with sunglasses and like a Gucci bandana on. Feels like he's all the way back. Devin Haney, fresh off the no contest, still undefeated, 31-0-1. Remember the Ryan Garcia fight where Ryan got pinged afterwards, also was overweight. That's his last fight, so he's trying to get back on track here against a very good Jose Ramirez. Haney is favored by a lot, even though Ramirez has more knockouts than Devin. Who do you like?
I'm going to go with Devin Haney.
He's strapped up right now. I saw him at weigh-in. He looks unbelievable. Devin, he looks.
Gotta be. This is a comeback fight. He got to be ready.
How about him being undefeated because of that no contest still? And I think some people doubt him because of what happened with Garcia, who was 8 pounds heavier than him, which I think is a big deal in the boxing world. And let's go to the main event. Ryan Garcia, fresh off of that no contest that failed, 24-1-1, taking on a brawler in Rolly Romero. Who do you like? How do you like it? And what do you think happens in this fight?
I'm gonna go Rolly. I think that he get a knockout because these boys gonna be slugging.
Okay, so you like Rolly over Garcia as a knockout in the main event here at Times Square?
Yep.
That'd be huge odds. What are the odds on that?
That's good.
We look up what is a knockout for? Yeah, I bet you those are massive odds, Q. Like huge. If you wanted to lay a little wager on the boys.
I only bet push-ups, Pat. That's all I bet. I don't do the money.
Plus 850 for Rolly by KO.
Oh, plus 850 would be good money. Q Rich might be able to win some people some stuff. We hope you will watch. If not, have an incredible weekend. We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Anytime, fellas.
Ladies and gentlemen, host, co-host of Knuckleheads Podcast, ESPN analyst, 13-year NFL vet, Quinton Richardson.
Made some bold picks.
It's all kind of. Yeah, he did. He made some bold picks. He did make some bold picks out there. How about him looking at the tail of the tape and going, "Oh, I see what's happening here with Tsumi." Okay.
We're really giving somebody. We're trying to get somebody the bump, but it's also on the other side for Whittington. What a great opportunity you have, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his fourth fight. This Tsumi guy, I watched him film on him last night with Bruce. Bruce found some. 26-2. You know, I can only make comparisons to other sports. Shota Imanaga, right, didn't come over to the MLB until later.
Yep.
In his career, he stayed in Japan for a long time, right?
Yep.
Like this guy, 28 fights in Japan. I wonder when the time was going to for him to come over here. Special that it's tonight. Lucky that we're going to get to watch it. But there's a chance he, after this fight, really rocket ship and goes, depending upon how it goes. And then Tiafimo, he had a chance to be prodigy best ever. Then he retired. Then he lost his confidence, lost his moxie. Then he gets back into it. It's like, I think there's going to be great fights here tonight, which is very exciting. And seems like we've settled in here in the second hour. I don't know on your guys' side.
Yeah.
Everything over here is kind of settled in, which has been very kind and very nice. I assume the truck is kind of getting pieced together as we go here. A lot of moving parts, a lot of big-time fights, and we're in the middle of Times Square. So I assume, a lot of shit to deal with, let alone the unions. I couldn't even imagine. Couldn't even imagine the amount of unions that are working here. But I think the Ring and Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, have put together quite a clash, quite a night here in Times Square. I'm pretty excited about it. Did you know Gap has premier location right here? Like Gap's right there, Old Navy. Mm-hmm. Then there's a McDonald's. There's what
do you think rent? You think rent is what $4 million a month if you want to have 2,000 square feet there?
Pat was talking about the unions, and he was talking about we're going to get our cut. Okay, Pat, you want anything wants to get done in Times Square, we're going to at least get our vig on the situation. And so yeah, the Gap and all those places, they're paying premium money to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I walked by Applebee's. I think was still popping off.
The bees.
Applebee's is certainly popping. Holy shit! We knew Cake Boss would do something special. What? Holy hell!
Here we go. Whoa! Move,
Thank
boss.
you so much. Here, hold on.
Buddy.
What's your name?
My name is Mo.
Oh, you work over here at Carlos?
Yes.
And this is Cake Boss's spot, right?
Yes.
Okay, what is this cake? Oh, we got a microphone for you. Great. Your name is what again? I'm sorry?
Mo.
Mo? Okay, Mo. I love Oreos. I love cookies and cream. Did you guys do research or just is happenstance here? Just happened. Your microphone's not on, so you will continue to use mine here. This place, right? What a prime location for Carlos. How many people are we serving a day in there? And is everybody just getting cakes, or what are we serving over here?
Cakes, slices, cheesecakes, sandwiches. It's cupcakes, cookies.
How about pizza? Any pizza in there?
Pizza, yeah, focaccia pizza.
Oh, focaccia pizza. Yeah, where are you from, Mo?
I'm Dominican.
Dominican. How long have you been a baker or chef?
For about 4 years.
Congratulations. What's Buddy like on the day-to-day?
He's a really nice person.
Interesting answer, Mo. I will say that was an interesting answer. Thank you for this. Is there any weed in this?
No.
Could have. Just want to let you know you could have. You could have. Thank you, Mo.
Thank you, Mo. That boy, Mo.
Appreciate you, Mo. Thank you, Mo.
There you go.
That looks
cake
awesome.
Does look delightful.
Yeah,
it does. It looks very. I mean, it's gonna melt out here for sure.
Yeah,
I'm doing big keto. It's a birthday though. I think I should probably.
I think
grab a fistful.
They actually said those are keto Oreos and a keto cake.
Yeah, just take a big chunk out of that.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Let's go. Happy birthday.
Vanilla something.
Hell yeah.
Is that fondant on the outside?
Looks like a nice yellow cake.
It's fondant.
Have you ever? Is that the show that says fondant?
Yeah. You mean the cake?
Fondue?
Fondant's like the stuff they use to make it look realistic on the outside.
But tastes like poop, usually.
Wow.
Oh, you're talking about the stuff that's like, is it cake or not?
Yeah, but it makes it look sweet and smooth and everything.
AJ's saying it like an asshole.
No, someone was it? I don't know what show they always said.
That's
fondant.
good cake.
Yeah, it looks like it's a good cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the outside. Icing, I guess, is what it would be called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Icing on the outside. Yeah, icing is on the cake, of course. Yeah. A lot of icing. Okay, you got to get through the icing. It's all over my face.
Can you eat the sign?
But
can you sign? Eat
when
happy
you
birthday sign.
I'll tell you, I don't.
A bite.
Dude, come on.
I'm
Take
going.
a bite of that birthday stuff.
It changes though because it has like the vanilla top. Let me spin it.
It might be like a mixture, like a marble type thing. Oh,
hold on.
So good.
So like this one down here, I haven't got into that yet. That's like a little loose chocolate up there. And you got an Oreo layer in there. So maybe we just
That looks real good.
Yeah, do
Real
one of
good,
those.
actually.
Hey, be careful.
There
You
it
got
is.
a big match coming up.
Yeah, I need to
No,
yeah, look, I got Dwight around my mouth too. I don't love that. But you know what didn't we say we need to add a layer or two because
you need to
of
beef
Gunther's
up.
big chops?
Exactly.
Don't we need to beef up a little bit? I was maybe losing too much weight.
You need a little beef. That looks like a good bite. Oh,
Yeah, I'll go bite.
yeah.
Hey, Marty.
Get it
Marty, I
tight,
appreciate
Marty.
you getting that close up, Marty. Marty's the best of the best.
He is.
Marty's the best of the best.
Not 75
I hope
years, but
That's a guy you could have a beer with.
Marty might be learning some things in there. 75 years sitting in the same truck as those guys.
I can
Marty
tell you,
hasn't done
Marty's in
shit.
hell right now. Marty is in absolute hell back there. He's never seen anything like he's seeing today. I'll just tell you that much.
yeah, it's because he's learning. Welcome
Yeah,
to
exactly.
school,
Marty, you haven't done shit, brother. Why don't you look around and get a notepad out, and
Bingo.
stop zooming in on my face. You need to be writing notes, brother.
I saw Tommy.
You need to be taking
I saw
notes.
Tommy and Fathom taking notes earlier too when they were walking around the set.
Tommy Collin is getting sunburnt to hell out here. He was right down here, which I'm very appreciative of him just eating that. Speaking of eating, this is a great cake. Cake Boss does it
Yeah,
again.
obviously doesn't miss.
Cake Boss does it again.
Did he
Go ahead.
did he by chance write in his sweet science pics on the back of the happy birthday? Because I assumed he wanted to talk sweet science.
What? No projection? You know what he said, Ty? What did he say down in Super Bowl radio?
Yeah, it was. We were talking about the game. He said, "What? No football questions? You asked me about the Giants? Okay."
I got so much icing all over my body.
Got a napkin anywhere? Nah.
Absolutely not. I don't have a clock here, brother. What? This cake is delightful though, and then they got the Oreo here. Oh, I need to stay away from those.
So you
'cause
take the
once you
Oreos
pop-
and dip. Can you take the Oreos and dip them into your cake and get some cake and Oreos?
Good idea, AJ. Good idea. That's something you would never do too. I can't believe you thought of that.
I'm a cookies and cream guy as well. Like ice cream wise,
No,
for
you're
sure.
not.
Yeah, chocolate.
That might be too much.
Chocolate.
That might be too much. That might be too much.
No, it's never
it's perfect.
Triple
This
stuff.
is like a triples. Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
Yeah, that's where you keep the cookies at.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a good buy here. Want a good buy here.
How pumped
You
is
don't
Booker
like
T
that.
going to be when you bring the rest of that cake over to him?
Brother, it's gonna melt up here. Thank you, Nick. My guy Nick on the audio. Good dude. Great dude. Hard worker. He brought the mic up that wasn't on, but I mean it's Nick. Nick's not the one that's in control of whether it's on or whatever. Nick's a good guy, hard worker. A lot of people here. Things are coming together. Feels like the chaos has slowed down. There was moments where you could feel the frantic. You know what I mean? Like there was people that weren't comfortable with where they were in the day. Now it's starting to like kind of settle in. I assume all that takes is just one connection to one connection and figuring out a problem, and then us getting added into it, and then us just dropping off out of the middle of nowhere and everything like that. So feels like everything's about to be magical tonight. And this cake is delightful. It looks good. It's gonna melt. It's very hot out here. 80 degrees, they're saying today.
Man.
And in that city,
Times Square.
That's nuts.
The air does not move, so that might as well be 110.
It's going to affect the fights for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even like the early fight for sure. The firefighter and the police officer are going to be fighting first. It's going to be daylight still. It's going to be 5 o'clock or whatever. That's going to be hot as shit. I mean, they'll be used to it, obviously. Maybe favors the firefighter there, huh?
Favors the firefighter big time for sure.
Good lather.
Because how hot it's going to be. Everybody else, have they been training in the islands? Because it's thick. It is very thick out here right now. I'm getting burned up, obviously, but that's not bad for me. But for the fight factor, yeah, you got to wonder. Let alone when it gets dark out here with all these lights. It's an interesting. It's never hosted a boxing event. I wonder how many times once in a lifetime is what they're saying this is, and I believe it after watching the whole thing here. I wonder how many people have been able to set up their shit right here in the middle of Times Square and how it's gone off, because I think they're planning on people just kind of filing in around. They say 300,000 people go through here every single day, 60 million in ad spend every single year.
Jeez.
It's like there is Oh, Cloud.
Wow.
Wait, is there like a,
Saw that.
is there
Thank you.
Is there a perimeter fence or something, or do like special people have to get tickets to sit in those seats, or how does it work for everyone around them?
Anybody who walks up gets a seat.
Yeah, I don't know. There is a very large. There's a very large fence that is surrounding this entire area. I'd say like 8 feet. It looks like.
Looks like they do
fence.
a concert summer series in Times Square as well.
Well, they do all kind of stuff with like the Today Show and all that. I don't know where that is compared to where you are, though.
Yeah,
it's on Times Square. We walked past the NBC. I almost thought about stopping by and saying, "Hey,
is that the
Lester here?"
Yeah. Where's he at?
Just want to chat about how some things were kind of angled. Just didn't know if we were going to talk about reality or not. I didn't know. But it was cool to see Radio City Music Hall. We walked by. Me and Gumpy walked by it. Remember, they kicked the NFL draft out of there.
Yeah.
If you do recall.
Best thing to happen.
The best thing to happen for the draft in the NFL for sure.
Yes.
But remember, they were going to do it there forever, and then Radio City Music Hall said, "I don't think so. We got Chippendales performing."
Yeah, it was
and
the Rockettes. Apparently, there was.
There it is.
Yeah, there was some sort of disconnect there, and they said, "No, we're not canceling the Rockettes. You guys are going to have to find somewhere else to go."
So it wasn't the Chippendales. Got it. We walked past Radio City Music Hall. They were doing a tour for the Rockettes. I think they're 100 years. I think it's 100 years of the Rockettes. We saw a sign.
Sounds
Gumpy might know better than me. They're doing tours and everything like that. It was
They're the leg. They dance. They kick their legs, right?
Yeah, the Christmas.
Them and Thunder Down Under.
They do more than just kick their legs, Hawk.
Thunder Down Under does that too, Diggs?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. How many times you been to it?
6, 7 now.
Sweet. Those guys are talented. They're usually pretty jacked, aren't
Been
they?
7 times?
Yeah, every time I go to
Do they
Vegas.
ever pull you on stage and, get physical?
I went by myself during Mania weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
what's that? What happened? We're talking about the Australian strippers,
Yeah. Yeah, good show.
the male ones that just kind of let that thing swing.
Yeah, Thunder Down Under. Good show.
So I don't think I fully understand it. So bachelorette parties go out there, they walk in there, and these Australian guys are just rubbing it all over.
Just flopping meats everywhere. Yeah.
And they're super attractive, got sweet accents, and then they're just doing that 3-4 times a night. That's their gig.
I believe so.
I believe so.
Diggs,
Tony,
you've been 6 times,
Tony.
Diggs,
Yeah, I
you
believe
know.
that is the case, yeah.
I mean, they got to be
From my
tired after that.
understanding,
3 or 4 shows a night. If they're doing that many shows, those guys are exhausted.
Yeah, think about the bruises, too, on certain body parts. Those things are really...
Stamps everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know if that's...
Jesus, Hawk.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Not on them.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. New video game that's out. I've played it. I'm not great at these games. It's a fighting game, like old school Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
I think KSI and Speed are going to play against each other tonight on the kickoff show. I think. I think they're going to play against each other. Now, who knows if that was supposed to be breaking news? We're not allowed to really. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not allowed to say. Things have really been fluid in this entire thing, but this Fatal Fury game, the graphics are amazing. And Saudi Arabia is a part of this. Setting this whole thing up, the Ring Magazine and boxing as a whole, and obviously with TKO getting involved with Dana and the WWE and Nick Khan, and obviously we talked to Turkey the day that it happened. This is one of the events that he had scheduled before kind of taking on that new boxing debut. Video games in Saudi Arabia, I guess, are a massive piece of like the evolution of Saudi Arabia. I guess it is a huge, huge piece. I think the Crown Prince, God bless him.
God bless.
I think the Crown Prince, God bless him, and Turkey, big gamers. Like, I think they view video games as a big way to like kind of expedite the process of their country kind of catching up to everybody else. They host, I think, the World Cup or whatever of e-games over there. I think they have made a massive investment into video games because they think it can help their community, their culture, and also they think they can contribute because of the way they have a passion for it. So I think this Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, being a massive piece of it is like a part of Saudi Arabia saying like, hey, we are trying to adapt and to help and to add to everything as a society and as a culture. And I know there's people that are going to be mad about that because of things that have happened in the past, but I appreciate the fact that we're potentially going to be a part of like the world, like the world catching up. And the fact that video games are doing it, that sports are doing it, like, I think that's a really cool piece of this whole story happening here at Times Square. Yeah. Legitimate. I think it's a very cool part of the story.
I'm pretty sure they're massive investors in like Rockstar games.
They are, yeah.
And like the 2K games, like all those type of games that have a ton of success, like the Grand Theft Auto 6, which is being regarded as going to be the biggest game of all time. I'm pretty sure that they have a massive investment in that. So video games are kind of
May 26, 2026. That's coming out.
We'll see.
Has that been bumped back a few times already?
Yes. This is
what
the
is happening? Why it's just not ready? There's glitches.
I don't know. I can't tell what they're doing because they also there were some rumors where like they weren't going to have a release date and they were just going to be like, hey, it's coming out next week. But I don't know. Yeah, allegedly today they pushed it back to 2020.
Can you drop nuclear bombs on people in that game? Like, what else can you do to creatively kill people?
I don't know if you could do nuclear warfare.
I think it's more so just like the scale of how big it is.
Yeah. Like you build a big world, a much bigger world now.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, the Grand Theft Auto 5 is like the most successful media property of all time.
Oh, okay.
So like
I was unaware.
The amount of like time and effort they have to put. I mean, that came out like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So like they've been
it's like what
working
the
on
metaverse
this.
was supposed to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
They have like an
Grand Theft Auto is a great game. I played on my phone.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I played on my phone. There's a kid over here holding up a piece of paper that says fuck Boston Connor. That's good.
Oh, nice.
So still got the juice over here, brother. And then I got a sign over here. I think it's a homeless man. I can't see him. He's on the other side of the fence. Says, I need money for booze and weed for the weekend. Please.
Oh, yeah. Being honest.
People are starting to fill up here. It's about to be a massive night here at Times Square. It's going to be an incredible weekend for sports. We can't wait to join you on Monday. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. And as you get older, remember, you're allowed to appreciate every single moment you have breath. We have no idea what's going to happen next. Yes. We have no idea if tomorrow is promised. All we have is today. Let's enjoy it, and let's make other people's lives better. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. We'll see you on Monday. Goodbye. Feels like that was a pretty good sign-off. Two of me on the screen, too.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you got the first hour as well.
Yeah.
Did I? That one.
Yeah, you got it
right on.
Yeah, you did.
First one was Zito counting down in my ear, which was great countdown by Zito. Great countdown by Zito. Every once in a while, Zito's got like 35 things happen, and the reason why I know that is because he's in my ear, and there isn't. He's like trying to rush and speak into my ear, and I'm like, oh, Zito's probably bouncing around. I can already see him punching 45 different buttons and trying to figure things out. But the countdown and the way he's handled today, first class stuff out of you today, Zito.
Oh, yeah,
first class stuff out of you, Jose Perez.
Baby Z.
Marty back in the truck, helping get this thing up on the air today. I know that you can't say anything to me, and I can't say anything to you, which is wild to think about. 75 years. Just thank you, Marty, and to Fathom, who's going to be running point for the kickoff show that starts at 4:00 Eastern. We thank the hell out of you, brother. I'm excited to see what you got to deal with. He's going to have to actually use their board, Foxy. He's going to... Foxy, think about him.
We've been on the line with those guys for this entire program because we've been kind of communicating with them when they cut your cameras and stuff. And let's just say I reiterated to them, like, when we talk on this show about how good WWE is at production and at just taking care of things, I said, we weren't bullshitting you guys. And I reiterated that about 10 times today.
Yeah, it's real. It's
Fox, okay, we're just as good. So why don't you sit down back there?
I agree, but like I think the WWE people, like they woke up early this morning, got over here, trying their absolute best. There's like 4 different entities all working together on this, and to the WWE people, I'm incredibly grateful. Always will be, always have been. I'm 38 years old today, and I get a chance to work not only for the WWE, but alongside people from the WWE. They're first class. And to my guy Nick working on audio down here, good work standing out here in the sun with me, brother. I appreciate the hell out of you. And I'm sure there's other good people that are working here. I'm not going to look at anybody as if they are for the rest of the day. I'm assuming everybody's enemy, but which is always a good idea. Yeah, that's always. We walked into that diner earlier, and like everybody's in there, and I'm like, I don't know who's foe. And I don't know who's friend. So everybody can get it in here, I guess. I just kind of walked.
Treat them all.
I just walked down, sat down, didn't talk to anybody, and kept it moving. This 4:00 kickoff show is going to be electrifying, though. Booker T is going to be here, and we're going to launch into a once-in-a-lifetime event here in New York's Times Square that is going to be remembered and chit-chatted about forever. We're incredibly lucky and honored to get to do this, and the fight card is set up to be great. And tonight should launch us into a great weekend of sport. AJ, safe travels down to Louisville. Thank you for coming over to Indianapolis, brother.
Appreciate it. Not too far of a drive from here. So yeah, everything's looking good. It'll be a nice rainy weekend, I feel like, in Louisville.
Are you gonna get an answer? Are you gonna do some journalism or no?
I mean, I probably will. I'll probably pull, Ian Rappaport, maybe pull like a recorder out of my, my phone and record some conversations of people and like try to see what they're gonna do in their professional life. Is that what you should do?
Yeah.
Treat my friends like sources.
Oh, I have a gift.
Absolutely.
I have a gift for you.
What is it?
Actually, a couple scratchers and a Subway gift card.
Okay, I think you'll like
And
the Subway
also-
gift card again.
Also, let's remember. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long. You just drop that in there a little bit. Let them hear it. Let them feel it. Let them taste it. Speaking of taste it, there's some sticks of beer in Thunderdome you can take down to them.
Oh, yeah.
You can take that down too.
Okay, yeah, they're like 19 ounces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have Ben Roethlisberger's number. Why don't you FaceTime Ben and let Aaron and Ben FaceTime maybe from down there and chit chat about what life could be like as a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. Let's see what we're about here. And on Monday after the weekend, we're expecting a full report from you, AJ, especially how many mint juleps you drank and how many cigars you smoked.
Okay, yeah. Mint juleps. I'm not huge on those. I like the whole pageantry and all that. So I'll try one. Maybe have one of those. And
You
then
gotta stay on par with Joe Pompliano's estimate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
125,000.
Yeah, so
Mint
do your
juleps.
part.
Nah, I don't think
It kind of tastes like poop. I've had them one time. I think it's kind of poopy
it's like
tasting.
that
But
egg salad sandwich at the Masters. Like I'm not an egg salad guy, so no offense to the Masters. I'm not eating an egg salad or pimento sandwich. Even worse, actually. So I'm not
like
gonna
a
eat the pimento.
piping hot egg salad sandwich.
Those hot? Those aren't hot.
It's hot out at the Masters.
But I mean, they don't.
you like chicken salad? You like chicken salad?
I'm not that whole texture guy. That's a weird texture, I think. For me.
I like chicken salad a lot. I can get down with chicken salad. I can
like
roll egg
with
salad.
chicken on it.
What about pasta salad?
Oh, I can do that. I can do a little bit of that. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Love pasta.
What about Caesar salad?
Oh, delicious.
I'll get a Caesar salad, but only if they don't have a normal house salad.
What about a chopped salad?
Yeah, chop's good. It's a little bit of work. Is that the wedge deal where
No,
I got to
that's a
chop it all?
wedge
That's a
salad.
wedge, I guess. Everyone calls.
Yeah, but you can get the wedge chopped. You know that.
I know. I should ask for that more often because I do really like the wedge.
I didn't know that was possible until I sat with somebody who's super successful, and then we ordered the same thing because I just ordered what they ordered because I didn't really know what I was supposed to order.
Yeah.
Theirs came chopped up because they asked for it, and mine came in a big block of piece of head of lettuce or whatever. And I'm like, why didn't I get it that way? It's like, why would you put mulch in and not put anti-weed in there? I thought those things.
That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Good question.
I'm happy we did get that mulch outside, even though it quickly became just a greenery. That was good
Hey,
stuff.
the
Everything's working out.
Gazebo looks amazing, by the way. This is the first time I've been here since it was been fully upright.
Yeah, Tim McAfee's the real deal. The mulch looks good whenever you see it. If you can see it. I don't know how it looks today. I assume.
Nice.
Pretty solid.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'll tell you, Times Square is alive. And this is cool. This is really cool. The Lion King has a massive piece of property.
They're still doing it on Broadway.
Yeah, Broadway,
probably.
right?
So good.
It's huge. I mean, this is the biggest sign in the entire thing. I met a guy named Aladdin today.
Legit.
I met a human named Aladdin.
You sure?
Yeah.
Prince Ali.
He said his name was. No, I don't think it was.
Ali.
His name was Aladdin. He's the director, I think, tonight. Good guy, good hand. He covered college football back in the day, so he had a great name. He was in that room where I was walking in there thinking it was war with everybody, and he walked up to me. I was like, all right, here we go, war. And he goes, Pat, how you doing? I got a chance to cover some of your games at West Virginia. Then he shouted out Morty Ivy.
Oh.
Shout out Morty Ivy, by the way. Gateway Gator, great. Then he shouted out Owen Schmidt, Steve, Pat, like the whole team. So it was cool to meet him. He's moved into the boxing world now. Yeah, it was cool to chat with him. Yeah, but he wasn't an enemy, I guess. So I'm gonna walk back into that diner, and I'm gonna say everybody's good people here. Everybody's great. Everybody really wants us to succeed, which is with a good feeling. And 4:00 this kickoff to a once in a lifetime event will start. And boys, know that I miss you, and I will see you tomorrow. And appreciate the hell out of all of you.
Miss you. Happy birthday.
Likewise.
brother.
Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday.
Thanks for all the posts. It's always weird. I took my birthday. I tried to take my birthday off the internet, and
How?
I guess I just can't do it. Yeah, I looked into it late last night. I'm like, can I get this off the internet? Because all of a sudden, I mean, you get a lot of messages. It's very cool, very kind. Everybody's saying happy birthday is very nice of people. I appreciate it. I hear from people that I haven't heard from in a long time. But then you're sitting on like 110 unread text messages, and I feel like a terrible human being. So I say thank you so much for the message, but then that starts now we're...
How you doing, man? How's it going?
Now we're back in it. So I spent a large portion of this morning like catching up with old friends, which is great. I don't want to say it's not great. It is great. But there's a lot of pressure on like replying to everybody here on the birthday. And I think what started it was Facebook. Do you remember that? Oh, yeah. Facebook had everybody's birthday, and you would log into Facebook, and it would like the first thing you would see is like, hey, here's whose birthdays it was. And everybody be like, boom, got to go to the wall. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And it was so cool. I think it made everybody like happy. And, you know, it was nice to hear from people. And it's nice to hear people say happy birthday to you. But man, I immediately felt like, oh, I got to respond to all these people because they took time out of their day to do this. And I think that's what I'm going to do for the next couple hours before this kickoff show. And if I don't reply to you, I just want you to know via this message right here, thank you so much for the text and the words. They mean more than you could imagine. I'm lucky to be alive. And let's have the greatest weekend of all time. All right, let's do that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well said.
All right, we're in this thing together. 4 o'clock kickoff.
Is Booker T singing the national anthem?
No, but I assume there's going to be the amount of talent.
Someone amazing singing the national anthem, I would imagine.
New York City.
They got a lot of people here, man. They got a lot of people here tonight. I saw like a guest list. Now, granted, I assume that's changing at all times.
Sure.
I assume all of it's changing at all times. But I think there's going to be a lot of people here tonight, a lot of talent here tonight. I think it's going to be a big one. Should kick off a fantastic weekend. All right, we're in this thing together. Team on me. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. You really never know what somebody's going through. A simple, hey, how you doing? Hope you're good, can change the trajectory of a life. Never forget it. Team on 3. We'll see you tomorrow for a kickoff show, and then Monday, overreacting to everything. I love you all. I appreciate you all. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.